actually gave a pretty good college try at music when I was in high school. I actually had a band, and it was broken up by a lady. Look at my hair. I can't. That's that natural part. I'm sorry, y'all. You're gonna have to deal with it today. I am in the final stages of finishing a book. And so we're going to have to hang in here and really get through the throes. It's another late night. Today, I basically worked on this all day. I did a little bit of other stuff, but almost nothing. I literally, an interesting moment. I got so tired today. Oh man, my hair looks like a mess. Yeah, I'm sure you guys are hearing me tussle about my hair. That's alright. Hair's not important. But anyway, what was I talking about? Oh yeah, I got pretty exhausted because it's very mentally fatiguing, this process. That is fine. But so I'm like looking at the situation going, oh, time to take a rest. And I set my alarm for 15 minutes to sleep, right? And so when I first started trying to go to sleep, it was like I reached for my phone for a second, and then I was like, nope, stay disciplined, buddy. And I stayed disciplined, and I went to sleep, and I dreamed about God knows what. But about probably 10 minutes into the dream, maybe 11 minutes into the dream, I started dreaming about working on this book. And it wasn't like some glorified, it was like me grabbing an object and like using the transformation thing to manipulate it. Speaking of, they updated and changed Photoshop a lot. All right, let's see how the sound is for this. So, because I gotta check this just to make sure everything's okay. Looks like we're live. Interesting. What does it sound? Check 1 2. No, this may not be it. Check 1 2. Check 1 2. Check 1 2. Music. Well, maybe I can't tell from here. Let's try a different location. You probably think that you were better now. I like that hook, man. Post Malone, what a sweet guy, huh? Well, looks like it works. Me singing over other music is criminal. I would say. So I said I was going to start at 8. I started about 11 minutes later, but that's okay. We got plenty of stuff to work on. We're in the final stages of the book. Major plot points were decided literally this late in the book. I don't know if that's good or not, but we're going to keep marching along. Where's my glove at? Uh-oh. Hold on, I have to step away for a second and get this glove. Kitty, where's my glove, Kitty? Where's my glove, Kitty? Come on, Kitty, where's my glove, Kitty? That Kitty tried to steal my glove. You see that right there? That Kitty tried to steal that glove? You probably think that you're a kitty now. Kitty now. You probably think that because the kitty's bound. Kitty's bound. We're kitty bound. Oh my god. Who in the world would listen to any of this stuff? I'm sorry, y'all. Anybody who's really, like, sat through these things, it's pretty incredible. Because I cringe when I watch these. Because I try to look and I go, oh, maybe I'll edit them. You know, something like that. Okay, so this is a docking scene. It's a particularly important portion of exposition. There's some really meaty scenes that I got in this book. I'm pretty proud of it. This is definitely the best thing I've ever done, hands down. So I have no problem promoting it, shamelessly plugging it. Ooh, this is a good one. We could do this one. Let's make sure that we're not overwhelmed. What is this? This is a splat for chapter 13? Is that where we're at? No, chapter 12. So let's see what it has. Sorry, I gotta do some, because the computer could crash. So I gotta make sure to take care of this stuff. I would like to, prep for the stream a little bit better than I do, but we're getting there. A lot of stuff going on. You know what the interesting thing is? I got 0 children, too, so you'd think I'd be able to do this a little bit better. We'll say, splat in progress. there. And then what's this? The Katarina 12, and then this is 14. Okay, so let's get rid of this chapter 14. Do I want to save this? Yeah, let's save it. Let's save it. Why won't you save it? Alright, let's try it again. I make these projects so big. Man. Which one is this? Chapter 14. Sorry, y'all. I gotta do some housekeeping on camera. Not cool, but that's okay. Oh, we'll go 13. Chart up and we'll say 13. 13. Forgot we cut chapter 13, and therefore there is no 14, and now there's a new 13, which was what 14 was. 14 is now 13. Keep up with me, y'all, as I show you nothing. Okay, and then we got this with the 12, and this is a pretty big fat scene. We might just have to change all this stuff to the actual size, but we'll see what happens. We're going to take a break from this scene because I just want to do mindless drawing. You probably think that you are better now, better now. Alright, we're going to go through chapter, I'm not sure. Want to give you everything. Oh, I should listen to that music, huh? Ooh, I look a little fat on camera. I will say, I am living a more sedentary lifestyle, and I have reached an age where a little bit of that can really hurt you. Let's get rid of that. So then we got docking. Let's get into the docking, okay? So I'm actually going to open up an image this big. Let's keep this black 12. And we're going to open up another project that's going to be real large so that we can get some details in there. But let's try to crank through this. I'll just say delete canvas. Yeah. So what I do is I have these projects, and sometimes I'll come across them, and they're just pointless to even pay attention to. You probably think that you are better now. Okay, so this is a shot that kind of comes from this sequence here. Let me show you guys what I'm doing. Okay, there's 4 layers, and I'm going to kind of, it's very incestual actually, the way that I build things up. Oh, old girl's kind of getting sweet now. So what gave up? Couldn't stop it from screaming, huh? Sucks to suck. Just to piss off all the haters. What's the opposite of haters? To piss off all the haters. I feel like I'd be more handsome than type 1 for yes and 2 for no. Oh, looks like no one thinks about it. Charlie, it's time to give up, Charlie. It's time to give up. You can't stop me. You can't stop me. I'm like fully Alright, let's get back to drawing. Okay, so this transport ship is showing up essentially at the mothership, at a mothership, the Cat Federation ship. And we start with this wide shot here. A lot of detail. We'll have to cut it down to so we're working 6 inches we're doing 6 inches by 9 inches, 6 by 9, right? Or are we doing 12 by 9? There's no way. What is that? 12 by 9. Oh, that must be the doubled up. Okay. So we're doing, 6 by 9. So we're actually doing 18 by 12. So why don't we double it up so that when we scale it down, when we make the decision to scale it down, we'll have a lot of information to work with. Trying out a new angle, yeah. I don't really like the recent angles I was using. Where's all my supporters at? Nobody's here, huh? Alright, that's okay. I got some pretty cool people have things to do. You probably think that you're okay. Let's see, does this work? Okay, looks like it. And let's go ahead and plug this phone in. Alright, back to it. Alright, so let's create another. We're going to do one more file. Luckily, these are. I cannot. It would be impossible, basically, for me to do. What is it? 12 by 18. So the width would be 12 inches by 18 inches. Okay. So this is double the size of the book that we're going for, which is this little bad boy right here. It's a little bit thicker. If you're familiar with the first version or the first edition of the book, we have this one, so it's an inch larger on both sides. I think it's more effective. These drawings are very, very detailed. So going smaller can have a really cool effect, but also I don't lose quality by getting bigger. I mean, I can go all the way up, but we have a style. I think that with the cuteness of the characters and the way I'm doing this stuff, it's better to not be completely standard. Alright, so let's take a look at this drawing here. So we got this opening to the Cat Federation show. I'd like this to all be one shot, right? So maybe what we'll do is, let's see, let's build some composition here, right? So it looks like we don't really need this part that says Cat Fed. We could probably just do this part and then add some shadows or something. So why don't we get in here, dive in here a little bit, and get some detail on this. And maybe people will come in and hang out with us. Maybe they won't. I don't know. But, alright, so we're going to do the common thing that I do here is dropping the opacity, adding another layer, drop some more opacity. More opacity. Can I email the people at Twitch and YouTube? Like, hey, listen, I'm a real nice guy. If you guys don't mind showing more preference to my channel, and I'm sure they'll email back immediately from home. And they'll say, I'm so sorry that you're experiencing this. You don't have to live like this anymore. Your life is going to be over in a good way forever. Okay. So this is, I mean, if you can kind of pick up on what's going on here, it's a lot of stylized, going in there and putting a lot of detail. So we don't have the time to do that per se. So let's kind of come up with some ideas of how. Let's recharge the speaker. Our whole setup is set up alright. Like we can rock and roll with the best of them. Is that your mousey you're hunting? You're hunting your mousey? She'd probably feel a little more chill if I had another kitten around here. Okay, so let's see. Let's add some shadows to this. But I'm gonna just try it out because the shadows could really pull us in deep, and we are finishing this, so we don't want to get caught up and dragged into a whole new layer of work. So I'm gonna kind of, the nice thing about shadows is it looks kind of weird if you don't curve things. So there needs to be some sort of curves. But also, as usual, I'm pretty well leaning into style. I do have my own style, which I recommend if you can come up with your own style. Do it. Don't hold back. We also got over here, it looks like we got some lack of detail around here, so let's kind of cram in here and start going to work, huh? This is where the music will pick up, and the music will pick up, and we'll kind of jam here. So kind of over here, it's got these different mixed-up styles. We could maybe draw different mechanisms, but mostly we're kind of just folding the bad boy up a lot. You probably think that you are better now, better now. I wish I could listen to that music with you guys. I wish I could. Alright, so I'm going to stay in this general region. Let's drop the opacity even more. Maybe try to clean it up, because you know what? We really want the audience to kind of look. We want to let them see how vast the ship is, but then we also want... I do have scaling issues with this story, but you know, we gotta rock with what we got. Can't get tied down on these details. And so I think this door is about right. So this is actually what the door looks like. Yeah, so it looks like the door's kind of got... Actually, why don't we steal some of these? Huh? Just so that we're a little consistent. Actually, we probably should steal the whole thing, huh? You probably think that you are better now, better now. Alright, so drop this. Make this a little bit bigger. This is just for reference, but we just... It's not... I'm not cheating. I'm just trying to make sure that people know what's going on. And I think that this is basically the same. So we might have to borrow this and put it on another layer. But, yeah, here we go. Ooh, I wonder how long I can stream tonight. Where are we at? We're about 15 minutes in. Oh, God, I thought I was 3 hours in. How am I supposed to keep this up? All right, so we'll do this. Oh, frick. Oh, frickin' frack. Oh, no. Oh, the only thing I got to offer this stream is a nice set of teeth, huh? That's about all I got. Let's keep this. Man, I'm telling you, if you guys can have good teeth, I highly recommend it. If you don't choose to do it, and maybe you try to get a first-round pick for St. Louis or something like that in a football tournament, it may seem like a smart idea at the time, but I highly recommend that you refrain from that. So it looks like we got something under here. So what we can do is we can kind of step up the detail a little bit, see how that goes. Meow, 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 meow. Interesting kind of setup here. Maybe we'll just keep this door closed. Why is the door closed? And maybe we'll come in here, add some other type of like a fixation, almost like some plumbing. Then we'll come up here and just, you know, just get inspired, I guess. This ship is actually curving. So what I kind of did here, and I'll do this one as this thing. I kind of did here is I have the ship kind of going in this direction. So we'll keep those there as guidelines. But this stuff is really important. It may seem like it's not if you're an aspiring artist. It's really important. And I would say little by little you need to develop these skills because it really enhances kind of the dopamine that the audience can give you. And you want to be able to move in and out of this stuff. It's going to be kind of interesting years down the road what kind of style I develop, because I understand Picasso better now than ever before, which is that I oftentimes am following my instincts, but I don't think I followed the instincts for graphic novel, though. I think that was a decision where it was like, hey, I need to put something in the market. And so here I am. See what I'm doing here? So I'm kind of taking these shapes. You can kind of do whatever you want. It'd be good to maybe keep working on this stuff until we got something for Soch. Or, honestly, the social media page I need to pay attention to now is Patreon. Might be time to just start promoting the Patreon now, since the other pages aren't really doing anything. You probably think that you are better now. Yeah, let's listen to, oh my goodness. Instagram is so, what's the word? Yeah, I guess that works. You probably think that you are better now. Why was I not doing pipes? Pipes, genius. I thought they were just a dream. I thought it was just a dream. I thought it was just a dream. Maybe some of this stuff here. Some of this stuff here. So you don't have to get too broken up on the details because, you know, even though there's some stuff here to do, you got all this, you know, industrial mechanisms and stuff like that. When you pull out, you see that it's not really that big a deal. Whoops. Thought I was grabbing this back there. Let's keep moving. So we're going to do mechanisms for a little bit, so I hope you guys are buckled in. There maybe we should save some space for exposition. So I actually think we'll do that right here. So let's not really kill ourselves over this right here. Oops. Oh, shoot. Dang it. Let's do this one. In the first book, there's a lot of detail on that too. Where are we at this one? I kind of ran into the same issue as I had in the first book, which was having these kind of real big ideas and only giving the audience a small amount of time. Oh yeah, so these kind of actually see exactly what it looks like. They kind of come around. That's such a cool design. I was inspired by Mobius drawing. Yeah, and then so they kind of went like this actually. So kind of like this. Cool design. Generally, rain follows a really hot day. Put myself into a corner, huh? Nobody puts Kiki in the corner but me! Alright, I'm gonna put some music on for myself since y'all want to talk to me. Something, can't get you out of my mind. Let's see if I can get some cool music. Let's say... meditation. What? No. Music. Yeah, let's do it. I wonder if I can pull this out of my... You know what time it is. Chocolate starfish! Cool. Alright, glad I pulled this drawing out. Refresh, restream. Why are you over here making my life look weird? And everybody all around the world. Okay. I love architecture and vehicle art, but that is not my cup of tea. My cup of tea is like sleepy time tea. Kind of getting there. I might have done what I was trying not to do at first, but yeah, so Federation's got a little line in it like this. So I have to clarify that. I need to have a shading day, a high detail day, and that's it. Then a cleanup, I guess. I don't even know. We're so close. Just stay focused, huh? Don't think about the project as a whole. You gotta get done what you got in front of you. That's right, kitty. This kind of resilience is what's gonna make me successful. You can't stop me, Kiki. That's too heavy. Alright, let's get in here. In vain. Never see me fall from grace. What's today? Wednesday, Thursday. James, is that you?
No, it couldn't be.
Couldn't be. Rufus Group leader himself, James's Albius.
Hello, how are you?
What's up, boss? Thanks for hanging out. I'm getting a little worried.
Yeah.
Getting a little worried. I'm getting a little worried about my following.
You're following?
Yeah, I don't have anybody in today. So let's see.
Uh-oh.
Let's see. Let's go up to this much. We'll do.
Here. I'll open up in a tab.
Yeah, if you don't mind. I'm gonna have to probably get more serious about that. Eating cheese is a best time activity. Let's try. Yeah, let's do
Boom,
that.
there we go.
Thank you, sir. What if we're gonna do this? Oh, interesting. Wonder where we're at here. I'm gonna start promoting the Instagram. That'll bring some people in over the next week. Kind of generate what's going on.
Yeah.
Let's go backwards. That's a little too much money. I know I sold all my books out. James Brosnan's here. Oh my gosh, he's so handsome and has great teeth. James, calm down. Let's do 5.
No, I can't calm down. I need to say anything. You need to know. The world needs to know.
So I know the books are gonna bring. Let's see, we got 3 days. So let's go maybe a little bit more. There we go. So I know that I sold out these books, so I'll have a little bit of money to promote. So we'll just pay that up front. You ever listen to System of a Down?
I have to know some of their music.
Sacred, silent, and sweet. Well,
Maybe I don't.
yeah, they were pretty famous. Still kind of are. All right, well, let's make the goodness. Man, money just slips out of my hands so fast.
What are you spending it on?
I'm about to promote the page, kind of generate it. I was hoping that
How do you promote the page?
promote the Instagram page, because they're only giving me access.
Money?
It does. You know what's so crazy too? So I have 7,000 authentic followers, right? A lot of people they fake it, you know. No hate. I mean, it's just the age we live in. But mine are all authentic, and so I've always felt like, oh, that was a good investment to market as hard as I did in 2019 and 2020, because I have all these people. Well, Facebook is such a ruthless company. They want you to pay to get access to your people. Such a bummer.
I mean, that's why TikTok's taking over. It's because it's free. It's, free market.
Yeah, and they're also, they don't have as much of an agenda, and they don't really care who wins. You know what I mean? Facebook is very agenda specific. Agenda specific.
Yeah, they're like, we win.
Let's see, 26.
Wait, they're Jenga?
No.
They're wooden blocks?
I will say it's like,
Owned by Hasbro?
I'm getting very excited about getting the book done, and I just am worried that no one's going to know. After this go around, I'll...
Yeah.
Huh?
Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, after this go around... Oh, did that not work? Oh, you know what it is? Oh my god, this is why I'm such a bad streamer. I'll just say what's on my mind, and it's just not... People probably watch me sometimes and go, what the hell is he talking about? And then they just... Man, I'm getting fat. I gotta go work out sometime soon. Alright, cool. So I started marketing the page for the next... I don't know how many days that'll last. For a few days. So that'll start to bring people in, and what might be good is to give them a link that they can use. Did you see the video of Charlie attacking me?
Yes.
Isn't that kind of funny?
very cute.
She's
Charlie is a good marketing play for Conformity Farm.
Oh, dude, 100%. That's why I was thinking about getting a hamster. And I remember my mom being like, what are you going to get a hamster for? I was like, it's really good. It's consistent online content. And she goes, oh, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Oh, I even have a link to the Discord. Except I'm sure that link has died. I shouldn't be doing this right now. All right, let's get back to it. How's your day been, boss?
Pretty good. We had a long appointment to talk about baby.
Yeah?
Yeah, we put an eviction notice out. So she's got to be out by Friday night or we're getting her out.
All right, fair enough. A couple of days left to get all your stuff out. Or the U.S. Marshal will be escorting you out.
Yep, pretty much.
I'd like to do research on the U.S. Marshal and like why they made them and what their jurisdiction is, because I feel like the U.S. Marshal is something that they came up with like in the early 1800s, and they really haven't needed them, but they never got rid of them because it's good for balance of, policing power.
Maybe.
Thoughts? You have no thoughts? Okay. If you knew, you would tell me.
I have no idea.
Well, because the concept is like a deputy sheriff and the sheriff's deputies are supposed to be there to make sure the police don't get out of whack. So technically they would arrest police. But we live in a time now that you're not going to, I'm not saying never, but you're not going to see a deputy sheriff pull over a police officer. They just don't do that.
Yeah.
Like I said, I know not ever. I know you got to be careful about speaking in absolutes, but with a country of 350 million people, I think it's pretty good to say all that. I think it's okay.
Yeah, I have no idea. That's just that's so far outside of my realm of understanding.
Well, it's not a bad thing to learn.
It's not. It's not a bad thing to learn at all because it's the system I live in. But
Right. It's all right. When I find out, I'll tell you.
learn that I can only spend so much time learning so many systems.
Yeah, I agree. But again, it's
And
still
I need
not.
to learn this so I can make money.
Right. You don't need to learn how to throw a coup and take over the government. Did you hear that, NSA? Pierce Brosnan said. No, I guess the CIA would probably be more interested in that. Do you think the CIA are like the equivalent to the KGB?
What?
Do you know what I'm
Is
saying?
it helpful?
No, you don't think so?
I guess I don't know the jurisdictions of the KGB.
Well, it's the Kremlin. It's the ruling party of the Russian country.
I know so little about Russia.
Most people, no, I mean, I don't know anything about Russia. I just know a little bit. I have an extreme interest in world
You know, it's
stuff.
just one of the best rollerbladers in the world right now, and he's like a psychopath.
Oh, I believe it. I think the best writers of all time come out of Russia. They have some really cool animation that comes out of there too, but it's hard to compete with America. Our media is just so good. Like, think about me, dude. I'm here making media, and I'm going into debt. I'm like, how many human beings are willing to do that? And that's no one's. Some people probably think I'm nuts, but that's just how psycho we are about art here.
Yeah, we like stuff.
Yeah, we're good at making stuff. It's cool to be American, man. The more I learn about the rest of the world, it's kind of like makes me a little more patriotic. Shane Gillis has a joke. He's like, I showed up to different countries and I'm like, this is your country, bro? What the fuck?
Bro, this is your country?
Yeah. Yeah. He's got a good stand-up hour. Okay. Man, I really do put myself in a lot of binds with all this detail. Dude, so I got some really good work done, made some choices on a lot of plot points, and really paid the piper in a sense, mentally. And I got really exhausted. I wanted to go to to the gym, but I just kind of was like, just stay at the tablet. Just stay at the tablet. So I stay at the tablet, right? And I'm like, I need to take a nap. And so I take a nap, and I set an alarm for 12 minutes, I believe. I originally set on this stream 15 minutes, but it's 12 minutes. And, man, I do have nice teeth. Let's make a whole YouTube video about that. No, so I had a 12-minute...
You were talking about getting them, like, redone, too.
Well...
And I'm like, why the fuck?
No, let's not talk about... Let's not talk... No. We're not going to talk about that. And I wasn't going to get them redone. I was just going to get them touched up. Not redone. Just a touch up.
You got nice teeth. That was a good thing.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I'm very thankful for it. I once went to the dentist, and the dentist was looking at my teeth, and he was like, yeah, good for you, man. You have really good genetics. And then as we were finishing up, he goes into the next cubicle to go see this older lady. And he basically just said, and I know I don't know how I knew this, but I could tell she was like wealthy. And she was coming in, and she just had horrible teeth. She had a bad mouth. And he said, unfortunately, you just were not gifted genetically. And I thought that was really interesting because he had just got done looking at my mouth.
Dang.
Yeah. It's something you don't think about, right? You only think about the things that bother you, not your blessings. Okay.
I often try and focus on my blessings.
Oh, yeah? You got a lot of blessings, buddy. You really do.
Yeah, that's why I try to focus on them, because it's really easy to focus on the stuff I don't like about myself.
What is it? You don't like, what would you not like about yourself? Dude, you got a great beard. The only person with a better beard than you is Joel's. Dude, Joel's got such a good beard. It starts to curl.
Phenomenal beard.
Oh my god, I can see.
Joel grows out. I try and like keep mine. I cut mine down constantly.
Do you? I can't grow a beard.
Yeah,
so.
when I was growing out a beard, I don't know if I was on par with Joel, but I was close. He just gets like a nice natural curl.
Yeah, I know, man. It's so epic. Yeah, 100%. I definitely admire his beard, without a doubt.
Yeah, it's just like Viking ass beard.
So the question would be, would he give up his beard to have a full head of hair?
I mean, that's not a question I would ask.
I think he would answer that question.
I think he would, but it just feels like an inappropriate question.
I think you're right. I hope he's not watching this stream or watches it later. But no, I love that. I would give up something to get that beard that he's got. Such a nice beard.
You would give something up for the beard?
Yeah, I don't know what it would be though, but I wish I had a beard. I always wanted the beard was something I look forward to my whole life because all the directors that I admired growing up had beards. And so I just kind of had this concept that I would have this really thick beard and I would wear it. It would get real long and I would get real skinny and yeah, none of that ever happened. That just wasn't my look.
Yeah. Well, I never got skinny, but I definitely got the beard.
Well, you had to have gotten skinny when you were, when you were skipping meals.
I mean, I was skinny before I could grow the beard.
Okay.
When I could grow this beard, I wasn't the skinny. It came with that Wisconsin cheese,
Well, I'll ask Becca. I'm like, was he skinny before? Like, what was going on?
You can ask her, she'll tell you.
How does she remember you from the beginning?
Just anytime, next time you see her, ask her about the flower shop.
Okay.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
So, the flower shop...
No, don't tell me. She could tell me.
Yeah.
Oh, did I tell you about my dream? Okay, so this is interesting, something that happened. So I worked really hard today, per usual, and I got really fatigued. So instead of going to the gym, which probably would have been a better move in the long run, I decided to take a nap because I knew I was going to stream and that I'm going to try to push this stream pretty late. So I know I'm going to do a minimum to 10 o'clock, but I'm going to keep pushing it because there's just so much stuff to do. Like, for example, I definitely would like to get this page done before the end of the night. But, so I took a nap and I set a timer for 12 minutes, right? And for the first couple minutes, I kind of got a little ADD and picked up my phone and started just looking at social media, and I was like, nope, it's nap time, bucko. Get it together. And so I turned it off.
Yeah.
And I start, I was tired, so it didn't take long to go to sleep. And I'm dreaming about God knows what, just, Charlie or something. And then towards the end of my dream, I go into a Photoshop document. I select the layer that I want. I hit Command T, which is to transfer, which is a common command that I use when I use this program. And I started to work. And then my alarm went off. And I was like, thank God. I was about to have a full-on, long-ass dream about just doing work. Huh?
You were about to have a whole work session dream.
Yeah. Did you ever have those at BMT? Did you ever have those at the one job? Yeah. I once worked at a warehouse. One of the hardest jobs I've had a lot of hard jobs, actually. But I worked at this warehouse where they were constantly, before Amazon was even like big, they're like a fabric shop. And they were always paying attention to your metrics. So they were the original, like, here's your metrics, make sure to improve, kind of thing. So they get you to keep working faster and faster, and they were always asking for overtime, and it was a hard job. And I would go to bed and I would just dream about the same thing, and that was my first experience with that, which was just agonizing.
Oh my God, that's miserable.
It is. It's so bad because you can't stop yourself, Kind of this style here. Somewhere. All right, let's see if anyone's looking at the account. You know what it is, dude? I'm getting very nervous.
About?
I don't know, I was talking about this with my buddy Mark. I guess I could talk about this on the stream, but I think one of the reasons why I didn't put out a lot of content earlier in my life was because if the content isn't out, then I don't get judged. And so I technically can't fail. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that's why I won't use Kickstarter.
That's why what?
That's why I won't use Kickstarter.
You won't use Kickstarter? Because you're afraid of
I
failure?
won't use it. I'm afraid of failure, yeah.
Well, I don't think you have anything to be worried about. Out of you and I'll probably be the first one to do a Kickstarter. I have a few plans.
Really?
I'm not gonna. Yeah, I got a few plans about releasing this, and plan B and C, to try to get as much as we can out of it. I was actually just talking about it. I was talking to Mark earlier. I called him and told him kind of what I wanted to do, and he basically just lets me do whatever I want to do. Like, he wants me to keep adding the character Hamder, which is a little hamster character that's like they eat hamders on Flufferton, or at least Charta does. He serves them.
Yeah.
And Oliver is very sensitive to other animals, so she doesn't really like it. And this hamster kind of like doesn't get eaten, and kind of like becomes a loyal servant. But it might be too late. It's funny because Hamder was in the first book, and I had to cut him. And we're approaching the second book, and I think he's going to get cut again. He just never prioritized him. He's a cool character. It's just I don't want to spread this story thin. I mean, major plot points are taking place over the course of like 4 to 6 pages. That's not a lot. So I got to cut down on these characters and stuff so that it's all about.
It would be a great moment for Hamder.
Would be what?
Just stow away on the ship. So he's not even really part of this book, but like maybe he's part of the next story, and he's like just stowed away. And it's like he gets set free from the dinner table, and then there's just like a single like panel of him like just escaping and stowing away somewhere.
It's not a bad idea. Or what I could do
and then
is
I'm like the last couple pages of whatever, like it just shows like where he's hiding, and he's just like
yeah. Or maybe
the Hamder's next adventure.
There's a character in the story The Count of Monte Cristo I gotta watch that movie with you sometime. It's gonna be harder to get a hold of you now that you're raising a kid, though. But there's a. You ever heard of the story, The Count of Monte Cristo? It's a French story by.
Yeah, we talked about it.
Oh, okay. So there's a character from The Count of Monte Cristo, who. Oh, did I tell you this story, Jacopo?
Yeah, I know Jacopo.
Oh, okay. So Jacopo would be Hamder.
And they have the knife fight.
Yeah. Okay. You know exactly. That's awesome.
And then he chooses not to kill him, and then he's like, "I'll serve you for the rest of my life."
Exactly. So what I'm thinking is they're gonna try to serve Hamder at Charta's dinner while he's entertaining Oliver and Jammer pre-invasion, and what happens is somebody saves him. So I don't know if it's Laika or Oliver or what. We'll see if I.
And you like just jams him in a bag or something.
And so so then Hamder realizes you saved his life, and Hamder basically says, like, Jacopo, I sacrifice the rest of my life to serving you. And so you just have this little hamster character that's kind of running around with like a little Donatello stick, doing cool stuff.
Yeah.
Doesn't engage the biggest characters, but can still be in the same scene. You know what I'm saying? It's like R2-D2 doesn't talk to Darth Vader, but they could end up in the same area.
I love Jobbot.
Huh?
I feel like Jobbot would be a great counterpart to him.
Yeah, what if Jobbot saves him by accident, and Hamder's basically like, I will serve you forever, and then Jobbot's like, no, I do jobs, I don't need you. And he's still still doing it. He's like, no, based on my family honor. This is the song of my people. You know, squeak, 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 squeak. And he's like, stop it.
And then he's just like Jobbot does jobs. Stop trying to take Jobbot's job.
Yeah, basically. It's kind of crazy because Jobbot's a robot that has very simple language, but with the way that AI is coming out, it seems like computers are going to be able to be more conversational, like 2001: A Space Odyssey.
Yeah.
That movie came out in like 1968 or something. It's wild.
I still haven't seen it.
Oh, goodness. I showed it to Donut. I might as well show you. You have to watch it.
Yeah, I remember you said you and Donut went to go watch it in theaters.
Yeah, we saw it at we went to, what the hell is that called? The Music Box. So I show it to him in 70 millimeter. Well, they showed it to him, and I just went with him. And so we watch it, right? And 2001: A Space Odyssey is considered maybe Stanley Kubrick's best movie. And Stanley Kubrick is probably the greatest filmmaker who ever lived, arguably. I mean, I think the reason why he's almost like the Michael Jordan of it. Like, a lot of people would reference him with that question. His library is just incredible, and he does a lot of master level work. But anyway, so we watched the movie, which is, I don't want to give too much away, but we watched the movie, and Donut is like, he's a computer guy. He's a programmer. He actually has a successful security camera company where he's got some pretty large commercial contracts. He's doing very, very well in 2024, moving into 2025. I mean,
is he installing security cameras, or is he what's he doing with security cameras?
Yeah, he's installing them.
That's weirdly a market that Drew's technically part of now.
That's interesting. So basically, he was just looking for a job, and he got into a company that hired him, and he was getting very frustrated because his superiors kept messing up the projects, and he kept having to go back to these places and fix their problems. And he said, well, his superior, though wasn't more intelligent than him, he knew this specific detail about the industry, was very esoteric, and so that's the reason why he was his manager. And so he decided to learn all that stuff, and not even just learn it, like understand it, and then keep going. And he says he's so much farther ahead than all of his competition knowledge-wise, and so he was able to beat out his boss. And what eventually ended up happening was that they kind of didn't have a very good... I'd be really interested to hear Mark meet Donut on this topic, but basically, like, they weren't treating their clients that well, and so some of these clients started going to Donut directly. So instead of asking the company to fix their installation, they would hire him on the side. So he would be part of the company as they kind of did a shoddy job installing, and then whenever they were troubleshooting, he would get the contract. And then he was worried that it would be unethical. I don't remember. I don't want to pull all of his business out there, but essentially, he got into an industry and he beat out his competition, and now he got so far that he got offered these large contracts by these like I think he's doing a university. So as you can imagine, like I think he bid like $100,000 on it, and they accepted it. So now he's hiring people and training them to keep it more affordable. He's training them. He's taking on people. Yeah, Donut's really... I got to get you guys over here for a football viewing. You, Corey, Donut. Yeah, I guess just those three. I got to get you guys in the same room. I'd love to have Mark, but it's so hard. Mark lives in Detroit, and he's always... First thing he does when he goes home is goes to bed.
Go to bed?
Yeah, dude. They work him like a dog. That's why I don't think he minds investing. He's like, you know what? You know what I mean? Like, I'm working for money. You're working for something else. I got you, man.
Yeah.
He's been...
He'd rather be part of something else than working.
Yeah. Yeah, and also Conformity Farm is definitely in his voice. So he definitely contributes to it. But he doesn't, you know, I'm doing all the heavy lifting. So I'll ask him, like, do you want me to put your name on this? And he's always like, no. Which is kind of admirable. Yeah. You know, a lot of people, they'll pay money just to get their name on it. He's not that kind of guy. He's a very humble guy. Very modest, humble. He's a Roman Catholic type. So he probably feels a lot of shame for the... Yeah, I know. I know. I can smell you guys out. I like you guys. I don't know if Donut is Roman Catholic. I know Corey grew up in like a Christian community or whatever. Not strict belief system, but like basically being around people who, you know, I mean, the community can be really nice. You know, a lot of people are missing community, so you can talk as much drab as you want about the church. It can offer some really nice communities to kids as long as you obviously fend off, you know, the predators.
Yeah.
I was always trying to get attention of the priests. I just don't think I was a cute enough kid, because I'd try and they just weren't interested.
You just got to apply to be an altar boy.
Ah, I was missing it.
Yeah.
Excuse me, Father, for I have sinned. Isn't it funny? There's so many things you can't say online, but if you want to trash the Catholic Church, it's free game.
Free game.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Yeah, enjoy. Enjoy. Ah, enjoy.
They have a media platform and they're not paying Facebook to advertise, so.
Well, I don't know. I think it's... I went down the wrong path. You know, as a kid, I thought as an adult I was going to make fun of the church because you want to kind of, in comedy and satire, you want to put a light on truth to power. But they've just been beaten up so much, it's not even funny anymore. So I don't even...
No.
I wouldn't even do it. It wouldn't even be that great. And it's like, also doing politics is kind of... This is not a good time to do politics, because politics are already kind of absurd. And also, Donald Trump's pretty funny. So it's hard to make fun of someone who's funny. You know what I mean? You can't parody someone who's funny. It's a weird... I don't know if we've ever been in this situation before where presidents are generally boring, you know?
The joke is a lot of time just a clip of him.
Yeah, I mean, he's the one delivering it.
It's not like a satire. It's not like a...
Yeah, you get it.
It's just like, here's that clip.
Yeah, you get it. You probably think that you were better now. Better now. How was the old Pupperoo that you were working on? How'd that come out?
It came out great. Oh my gosh, I fucked up and I didn't put the plushing in it.
Yeah.
In the head.
Okay.
So I just slashed it across the face, jammed the stuffing in, and then stitched it. You could not tell that I did that.
Really?
Yeah. It was a pretty flawless job. I'm pretty proud of that one.
Oh, look at you. I'm intimidated by sewing.
It's something that I hate, but I'm good at. And I have a few things like that.
Yeah. I was actually
pretty... I'm pretty good at drawing.
Yeah.
and like illustrating and sketching.
Yeah.
If I spend the time doing it, but I hate it so much that you can tell.
Okay. Yeah, I
and
wouldn't.
I have to really swallow that if I want to put out a good drawing.
Yeah. I wouldn't, yeah, so, talking to someone like me, I should let you know, like, I literally feel dopamine when I draw. It is...
Oh, yeah, I don't get that at all.
Yeah, I get this really interesting feeling. It doesn't... Actually, it's very effortless. That's the reason why I got to do a really good job in pre-production moving forward. The thing that really stresses me out with these drawings in this book is that I don't know where things are going. But if I know exactly what the script is, and then I take an extra day to break down the layout, and then I do these drawings where I'm literally pushing it to the end, I think that is really... the next book I do is going to be the best book. It may be the best thing I've ever done. But when I'm getting, like, bogged down and I don't know where it's going, and so I don't want to put too much detail because I might have to change something, that's a very uncomfortable feeling. And it's my own fault, but that's what stops me from feeling the pure joy, really.
Yeah.
Because I don't really feel anything when I draw. It's not... I get a little bored because sometimes I'll be drawing things I don't want to draw, but yeah, I could do this forever. Conformity Farm might be around for decades, honestly. I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah. Ooh, that's not the line we want. What do we got here? Let's take a look at it. Diori Dashi. What is this? Diori, welcome to the stream. I'm Timothy James, and this is the Conformity Farm stream where we work on a graphic novel. This is an exterior shot of a giant ship, the Cat Federation ship, and we are going to be docking soon. And so this is kind of the close-up. I wonder if there's another... Well, here's a drawing of the ship. And so we're actually right here, and it's a close-up. Everything's backwards. It's a close-up of this area right here. So that's what we're doing. What are you doing, Dashi? Talk at me. You probably think that you are better now, better now. Do you like Post Malone, James?
I'm not a particularly big, like, Post Malone fan. I don't know. I don't like a lot of, like... I'm gonna sound like such, like, a hipster douchebag, but I don't like a lot of, like, super, like...
Auto-tune?
No, popular music, I guess is the way to put it.
Yeah. Pop. You could just call it pop music.
Yeah. Is Post Malone pop?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, he uses auto-tune. He's not, yeah. He's definitely pop. He just, I never really, I'm the same way, not really big on stuff like that, but I think I'm just struggling to find newer music, because, like, I keep sticking to my old stuff, and I like it a lot, but I don't want to get tired of it. And so, some pop feels really nice. I mean, that's kind of what pop's supposed to do, right? Like, it's relevant for the moment, it feels good. It's like a stick of gum or something. Where'd you go, Dior Dashi? I feel like I've seen Dior Dashi before. You probably think that yeah, I feel like it. I could be wrong.
We lost them.
That's alright. They were checking it out. They didn't. It's not their bag, and that's okay. We can't be upset that things that aren't meant for us don't work out. Like Brian and Sam being leaders. You probably think that you are better now. I think about that sometimes. Facebook has been recommending Brian and Sam as friends for me. So I was able to I was able to look at Brian's thing, and I was like, this guy, I like this guy. I really do. I like him. But it is also weird at the same time, like, where you can end up in a situation where you need guidance, and you're supposed to be the one guiding, and you're like, oh shit, and you're just kind of sitting in your office going, when are they going to find out I don't know what the hell I'm doing? You know what I mean? Like, when is this going to be obvious, But, fake it till you make it, I guess.
That's what I've been doing, and it's been working out okay.
Well, the difference is you show up to work every day. I think that's the main difference. I think some people wait for opportunities. I mean, we had this conversation earlier. People kind of going, oh, you know, next year I'm going to really put the pedal to the metal, and you're kind of like, wait, why? What's going to happen? What's different about a year from now and now? Like, what are you doing? Why would you lose a year of productivity? But, you know, honestly, I think the key to your success so far has been your urgency. And it was very obvious. Yeah, you've had a lot of urgency.
Yes.
Even though you were in a decent spot, like things were okay, you had a decent like year, and then out of nowhere you smashed expectations. So yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, I feel like if it's not gonna happen quickly right now, it's just never gonna happen.
You know what's interesting is yeah, that's something I need to really get going. Is like I saw an interview with Jeff Bezos, and he was saying like you need to move quickly, even if it goes poorly. That system needs to happen quickly. You need to fail quickly or whatever. But what happens, he says, in a lot of companies is that they take too long to make decisions. And he says the one thing he's really proud about with the company is that they make very quick decisions. And that's not always a given with companies.
Yeah, it's like what, 500 plus 2 times 23, 67. Doesn't matter if it's the right answer, but you got to speak quickly.
Yeah, I mean, that's true in sales. I mean, I literally, let's change topics.
Depends on the sale.
Let's change topics. Well, most sales meetings that I was in, never mind, we'll talk about it later.
Yeah, that's
because I do know people do watch these on YouTube, and sometimes they get up kind of high, and it's just better if I don't comment. Also, it's probably illegal for me to comment about it. Better now.
Yeah, avoid illegal.
So what we might do, Boner Soup. What are we drawing, Boner Soup? Well, Boner Soup, we are drawing the exterior to the Cat Federation ship. This is actually what it looks like in print. Come on, so this is a ship in space.
He's also going to tell a story about the most illegal thing that he's gotten away with.
The most illegal thing I've ever gotten away with.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not really much of a criminal.
Really?
Yeah. So the things I've done wrong, I've actually got caught for. Yeah. What about you, Boner Soup? What are you up to? Are you stirring your soup with a ladle?
Definitely a ladle.
Wow, that's sick. Damn, I was afraid this was pre-recorded. No, we're here live, baby. Oh, I love that. That's like the nicest thing I've heard all day. I was worried this was pre-recorded, but you're actually here. No, I'm here, baby. I'm here every single... I don't even know. I don't actually have a regular schedule anymore. I used to be here every night from... James, when was my time? 8 to 9? Central time?
Dude, I don't know. That's when I was in the void. That's when I was in the stoop.
Oh, really? Yeah. So, yeah, I was doing it for about an hour, but I think it's more appropriate moving forward to do 2 hours. I'm so happy I did those hour streams, though, when I was working at the other shop, because I was getting worked like a dog, and like a person who goes... I was also going to the gym. I was going to the gym, and I was doing a stream for an hour, so it's an interesting year. Just got off work. Finna bust out the dabs and chill out. Got some chili and chips. All right, buddy. I respect that. Now, I wish I could take on some of the dabs myself, but I got to stay focused because we are in the 4th quarter of this graphic novel. We are almost done with this graphic novel, so I'm going to be around streaming as often as I got cool stuff to draw, and then I get off the stream to do exposition and writing and working things out, and we're getting there, so... I don't even know what I got to do.
I want to know more about this chili.
Yeah, Boner Soup. Well, did you get your chili? Chili and chips. And his name's Boner Soup. So this guy likes his dinner in liquid form. For sure.
He's a liquid dinner guy.
He's a liquid dinner guy, absolutely.
Guy, gal, or 9-fun binary count.
Yeah, I don't know if it's... Well, Boner Soup. When's the novel dropping? That's a good question. I think pre-orders will probably be available sometime this month. So the book's coming out pretty soon. There's going to be 2.
You're running for Christmas, yeah?
Yeah, well, what I'll do is I'll promote over Christmas. But it's going to be available before then.
Hot.
But yeah, like I said, I think Conformity Farm should be a holiday thing for the graphic novels at least. So if I get bogged down in other stuff, I could always maybe, if I can't make, because I was looking at it and I was going, is it possible for me to drop 4 graphic novels a year? Let's look at, how often does Alan Moore drop a graphic novel? He's probably the best. How often? Then what's the other guy? There's Alan Moore and then there's something, Norman Gill or something like that. How often does Alan Moore release books? How often are comic books released? What was the last comic book from Alan Moore? Moon and Serpent bumper book. So let's look at his bibliography. We'll just have to do the homework ourselves, I guess. You have any work currently published? Yeah, Mud is Good is out. Or actually, Mud is Good is almost out. You could buy this on the website. I'll sell you one. But yeah, I have Mud is Good. But this is going to turn into this. So I got material out there for you. Boner Soup, something for you to hang out with some dabs and some chili and some chips, and you can just take in the art. I really put a lot into this, man. This isn't some cheapo manga book. Not that mangas are cheap, but they do rely on very simple line drawing sometimes. Whoa, Alan Moore is super prolific. I can't even keep up with it. So let's see if we can. Alan Moore. How many books has he published? We say published. Come on, give me a number. See, the AI should already be able to help me with this stuff. So let's say we say 88, 86. So 2 years, 1 year. So maybe 1 book a year is what it looks like he's at. That seems about right. And he just writes. I don't think he draws. Yeah, but currently out there at Mud is Good. So we got Mud is Good out there, Boner Soup. It's the first edition to this book that I'm working on right now. But if you want to be patient and you remind me that you hung out in the stream, I'll give you a discount too. But the ones that are coming out are going to be the best work I've ever done, for sure. And I ain't just some old storyteller. I've made movies. Baby. I've made TV shows. Now, I didn't produce them, but I was there. I was freaking there in the camera department. How many filmmakers, like if I became a famous filmmaker, would that be an interesting story that I was a camera operator in sports television for probably close to 7 years, and then worked in production? Tune in to listen to what?
That's that story about how you're,
how I got started. Yeah, I think they only care if they like the result. When you like the result, like when I became a TV director, I was a very young TV director, and all of a sudden the younger colleagues were very interested in me, and they wanted to know about my parents and everything. They just wanted to know like how a guy like me, who honestly had never been to college, or had never finished college, got this job, and they just wanted, they kind of wanted to know about me. Look forward to the release. I look forward to you, Boner Soup. Hey, if your name shows up in the credits, you probably had a significant role in it. Oh yeah, well I didn't have a role. I worked in production. I'm a production guy. Having said that, doesn't mean I can't act. I just had to pick a side. I felt like being an actor would, being an actor is so tough because you're sitting there waiting for people to choose you. And I didn't like the idea of putting my destiny in other people's hands. That's why I decided to make the material instead. Same thing, I was a filmmaker for a number of years and I wasn't able to get any major products done, and so I moved to graphic novels. So, you know, who knows what this path's gonna look like. But let me tell you something, Boner Soup. This ain't no, you know, this ain't your grandma's graphic novel. I don't know what that means. Grandma's probably would appreciate good stuff. But that's what people say, you know, like, that's not your female ancestors, yada yada. I'm just saying that because I'm trying to draw and think at the same time, and I'm falling apart, Boner Soup. But I want you to know I do appreciate you and your interest. I'm glad you found me. How'd you find me? How'd you find me on the old YouTubes? Hey, subscribe to my YouTube and follow me on stuff. That would be great. And then remind me about you and that we had this little chat here. And I'll sign the book if you want. I'll give you whatever you want. I'm all about finding...
That's a binding contract, Boner Soup. He will do whatever you want.
That is well, I'll sign the book. My grandma doesn't read many graphic novels, but I get where you're coming from. Boner Suit's pretty solid. Literally just scrolling. Oh, you found me on YouTube scrolling. Cool. Thanks, YouTube. It's probably a little boring to watch me just work on this shit.
Is this happening in the YouTube chat, or is this in the Discord? How are we hearing from
Oh, this is YouTube chat. Pull up the YouTube, you'll see.
Dude, I am in the YouTube chat.
You don't see it? I'm talking.
No.
He's a YouTube guy.
Jeez.
Oh, wow.
My YouTube's falling apart. I think this monitor's about done.
I wonder what... Yeah, you know what? I actually just pulled up my YouTube, and I'm not seeing Boner either. I wonder if Boner's blocked or something. Well, he wouldn't be... I'm here. No, I see you, Boner.
Oh, no, okay, I have to switch to live chat, because it only shows me top chat.
Oh, yeah, likewise. Okay, now I see it.
There we go.
Alright, Soup in the house. Alright, what do we got?
Alright.
Yeah, literally just found me organically. That's beautiful. I'm always worried that's
pretty sweet.
That's as cool as it gets, right? Like, that's really the beauty of social media. I'm always worried that I don't get any chances to see people. I feel like I gotta hustle it all myself. Alright, so this is an exterior here. Maybe it'd be good to clean up some of these thicker lines. What do you think, Boner Soup? You want to see me keep working on this really detailed drawing, or do you want me to go to a character? I mean, I can do whatever you want. I gotta do the whole dang book anyway, so it doesn't matter when it gets done. You just tell me what you want to see drawn. I could keep doing this. This could be kind of therapeutic.
Boner Soup, this is really your world now. You've become the
Yeah, this is your world. This is your world, Boner. I'm just living in it. Which is a funny quote. You probably think that you are better now. You do you. That's what people always say. People are always so polite. They say people on the internet are rude, but like, I mean, don't get me wrong. I definitely run into... I had a weird interaction with a troll not too long ago. It was a pretty good troll. But it was just like, man, why would you spend your time doing this? Like I can only imagine. But they got me, though. They got me. They said a couple of really messed up things to me that had my brain spinning. And I was like, that's a pretty good troll. Yeah. It was pretty bad, actually.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. That's what happens. I mean, if you put yourself out there, that's what you're opened up to. Because people can, you know, create accounts with avatars and emails that don't go anywhere, and that's normal. By the way, sorry for the username. I chose it back when I was 15. Yeah. Maybe I'll just call you Soup. Boner Soup.
No, my game crashed.
Oh no. Man, I gotta reach out to Drew. I haven't talked to Drew in a while. I was thinking about him not too long ago. I'm formerly known as Penis Parker and Goth Jesus. Alright. Penis Parker. That's pretty funny.
My brother used to go by Emo Goku. That was his, so close to Goth Jesus.
Is that, Mikey?
No, other brother.
Did I meet your other brother? I don't think I have.
No, I don't think he did. He lives in New Mexico.
Oh my god, dude. I gotta get you... Donut and Corey together. I think that would be a decent group. And then maybe I'll try to get Mark in town, and then we could get Mark to play D&D with you and your friends. And then we can bring in a couple
Dude,
more.
I mean, I love running first-time D&D players, so.
Oh, I'm glad to do that. And then you'd be like, Becca, I'm sorry, I can't raise the baby. I'm being a D&D master.
Yeah, I'm being the dungeon master.
We're being a jerk. I was gonna say the B word. I never, in my entire life, I've never called a woman a bitch.
Really?
Yeah, never.
Probably a good move.
Yeah, I was raised by majority women. Like, men were actually the ones who were kind of lacking when I was growing up as a boy, so I never really admired men very much. Some guys were cool, but I was the dorky kid who, admired the principal. You know what I mean? Kind of kid.
Oh, man.
Yeah, that was me. The cool kid, as they would say. You probably think that you... What do you think of this new camera angle? I think this looks better. The other angle, it makes... I don't know. This doesn't work as well.
Where you're looking up into your face?
Yeah, this, looking up, I think somehow it looks better.
And I kind of like that. It looks like you're drawing on me.
Here it comes. Yeah. Whoops. Here we go. Penis Parker, huh? All right. You probably think that you were better now. Okay. So, all right, let's make sure that we're not...
You need some music playing, otherwise you're going to keep singing that.
Yeah, well, is there no music in the background?
Oh, I don't know. I have, so much shit running right now.
Or I could just be disciplined.
Rude.
Yeah, you're not disciplined. Well, let's drop this down. Let's get rid of some of these. Okay. All right. Let's prioritize. I can't do this forever. How long have you been drawing digitally? I feel like I would get lost in my own perfectionism and focus too much on the overdrawn lines and misconnected points. You clearly embrace it. Yeah. Well, that's a really... let me tell you something, Mr. Soup. That's a really good observation, and I'm more than happy to answer your question on this. I think that... So this perfection... I'm not immune to the perfectionism. This book that's coming out, and this is going to be an interesting flex. I've been working on this book for 4 years. So it's probably going to come out to be 400 pages, right, total. I'll split this in half in two. But the book probably could have gotten done much sooner. But I do spend a lot of time, rolling away at stuff. So the trick to overcoming that is one very fundamental key, which is what makes the difference between a hobbyist and someone who can actually compete in the market and make money and compete against others. And the answer to that is deadlines. Deadlines. And I love the definition of the term deadline because it also means that the project's dead if you don't make it, meaning that you have to move on to something else. So if you don't want it to die, technically my deadline's tomorrow. We're not going to make that, but we are pretty close, and my entire scheduling has been around hitting that September 5th deadline, and I've come quite a ways, So luckily I can kind of give myself a little bit of a break, but let me tell you something. You look at the situation, you ask me how I got to where I am, well, I'll tell you what, I'm not where I want to be. So, yeah, I hope that answers your question. I do have issues with overworking areas, and the only thing I do is I just have to bite the bullet and, get over it, basically. Because I could technically work on this book my whole life, honestly. And it would probably be beautiful. You ever heard of the movie The Thief and the Cobbler? There was a guy named Richard Williams. You ever heard of this, James? Richard Williams?
No, I haven't.
Okay, this is a cool story. So, by the way, music is pretty loud. Sounds like it's to the same intensity as your mic. Oh, okay. Thank you. Actually, why don't we get rid of this?
Let's see, now this is good. We have somebody telling us on that end. Because I'm only talking to you on the Discord.
People are so helpful. Here, so let me look it up. Let's see how the sound is, how I like it. Oh, wait, this isn't going to work anyways. Let's try it here. Yeah, so I hope that answers your question, Soup. It's a constant battle that I go through, and yeah, that's about it. It's I have to overcome the perfectionism, so I know exactly what you're talking about. It's a constant battle.
Also, like I do digital drawing a lot too, like professionally,
Yeah.
and it's really just not allowing yourself to use that undo button. It's creating a discipline around not letting yourself do the undo button, so then you start getting better. You start needing it less the less you use it.
Well, it's interesting, James. You're a really good example of this because I think you understand this better than I do. I think, one thing is like even when I started doing some of these other videos and realizing the pace at which you were finishing things and realizing in order for me to be able to keep getting work was that I was going to need to be as prolific as you in a sense. And your ability to be like, listen, this is the best I can do right now, or this is the way it's going to be, live with it, and to move past it. And I think a lot of people are kind of similar to what Soup's saying, which is that, you have a passion for it, so you want it to be so good. That reminds me of a story that I was told about a guy at Big Monster who got hired, and he only worked. So you guys were supposed to invent like 1.5 things a month or something like that. I don't know if that was what it was, but
it depended on the person. I needed to make 2 a month to keep people happy. Most people needed like 1 a month, depending on the scale of it. But yeah,
okay.
You needed to invent 1 to 2 things a month.
So this guy apparently, for about 3 months, stayed on the same game. And the guys in charge, they're such nice guys. They don't even, really what that company needed was someone to sit people down and be like, listen, you're going to get fucking fired if you don't, excuse me, my French. You're going to, you need to get it together. Otherwise, this isn't going to turn out the way you think it is. So instead, they kind of would hint at it, kind of stuff. But, so I heard this guy worked on a board game for 3 months. And then at the end of the 3 months, once he finished it and turned it in, they're like, hey, listen, this just isn't working out. So they let the guy go. And then lo and behold, they submit his game and it sells immediately. So it's an interesting type of thing, like the amount of items that would get submitted and how few things got sold. Now that I'm getting information from, about this. What's up, Bob? I once called Bob, what did I call Bob? Boob. Or did I call Bob Babe? I don't remember. Bob's cool. Bob's hung out with me on the
if I were Bob, I'd go by Babe.
By Babe? Yeah. Well, that's because you are a babe.
Oh, shucks.
So yeah, I don't know. It was interesting because Steve had said something very similar when Big Monster, fell. And he was saying they submitted too many things. He was like, why would you have a meeting with 35 items? Do just 5. Anyway, we're not talking about things that the viewers have any idea of what we're talking about. So really, it comes
we're different in the toy world.
From Babs, from Family Guy. Yeah, absolutely. So I guess to keep it relevant, it would be cool. I was thinking about, so once this book's done, which is pretty soon, I'm going to start releasing content online, videos and stuff like that, to help kind of jolt the algorithm and also kind of add to things, but also have a reason for it. Say, hey, thanks for checking it out. If you want to support, here's a graphic novel, yada, yada. But I was thinking it would be a really good YouTube video to do a video on self-sabotage. And I think perfectionism sits in this self-sabotage, like procrastination kind of issues that I've had to overcome for the last 3 or 4 plus years, and really talk about, where I am and how I got past it, because I don't think I've solved it by any means. But to do a YouTube video to really just talk about it in a very personal way, because I don't know if you guys have ever done research on YouTube. You ever done research on YouTube and you're like, oh, I'm going to see what YouTube has to say about this topic. And then all of a sudden, 5 or 6 videos in, you go, these people are just regurgitating each other's information. Like, we're literally looking at a platform where no one's bringing in new data, which would maybe mean you should look at academic papers, or just pull from your own life and stop looking at other people's stuff and just be you. That's what I would recommend. That's what I say. But that's easier said than done. I mean, oftentimes I'll look for inspiration. I mean, a lot of the stuff I did for the architecture, especially on the ship, I definitely lifted from Mobius. Yeah. It all came from somewhere. But I invented pillows. People, you guys probably don't know this. Before I started drawing these books, we actually slept with no pillows. It was one of those technologies that kind of crept up on us. You probably think it's always been around and stuff, but it hasn't. Don't look into it.
That's my favorite thing when somebody says, "Don't look into it."
Yeah, it's a funny thing to say. Yeah. Don't look into it. Where are we at here? We all looking at this? Okay, so this isn't too bad. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go ahead and fill in this top part over here on the top left. I guess I could show it by going like this. This little area here in the top. I'm going to fill this in with texture, and then what we're going to do is we're going to put this away, and I want to pull up another drawing because I don't want to bore you guys to death. Consistency is key, man. Look at streamers like Pirate Software. Dude literally codes and codes on end, and most people obviously absolutely eat it up because he's well versed in the field and is passionate. Do you mean code? Like, is he a coder? Is that what he does for streaming? Let's do another one. Oh, is this what I'm looking for? Let's drop this. Let's get in here. Let's get in here, huh? One more stab at it. Yeah, I agree, though. Consistency is important. That's how Bob found me, from being consistent. Bob's been around. Bob, how the heck did you get...
Bob's been around, man.
Bob has been around.
He's been around long enough to be called Babe.
Yeah, I was tired. I'd watch stuff like this just for the simple fact that you're easy to talk to and you look cool while doing your thing.
Hey, man, the lights in the background is doing a lot for you then.
I guess so. Yeah, and I'm pointing at the corner of the ceiling now, and I got these lights and stuff, so it's not super well together. But you look cool while doing it. Thank you, Soup. Thank you. You know, that was actually a Rufus Group idea, was for me to go on camera.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, because I was debating it, and I kept coming up with no. And I think it was actually you and Drew who were like, dude, I think it'd be at least worth trying.
Huh.
Alright, so let's try to cruise through these textures. I like the pipes. Definitely kind of tapping into some Death Star energy, but, you know, listen. I'm at that age where that's okay. Because, like, how do you not Star Wars things? Everything's Star Wars, really.
I just love that you equate that to your age. Like, that makes, like, that's, like, what makes that acceptable.
Yeah, because if I was... Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm getting old. Because 10 years later is when Star Wars came out 10 years before I was born. Don't look into that.
Yeah, I'm not going to look into that.
Wait, have you not seen Star Wars? Are you one of those people? If you remember... Yeah, he's...
No,
hold on, wait. Boner's talking. Soup.
Alright.
Soup of the... Or, Boner of the... What is it? What was that soup of a teenage soul? What did he say? Boner... Or, Soup's in a good mood, huh? Consistency is key. I'd watch stuff like this. Yes, he's a programmer with endless stories and an interesting past. Oh, that is interesting. Well, that's good to hear, Soup. I really like that because I'm always worried about, you know, what to talk about. And when I look on Twitch, I just see like chicks with their boobs out, which don't like. Listen, boobs are great, but I can't do that. If you remember the South Park episode where they had a really fat dude playing World of Warcraft, yeah, of course, make love not Warcraft. Listen, I am highly inspired by this South Park guys. I can't go as hard as they go. I feel like almost nobody can except for South Park. A lot of people, if you tried to do South Park on YouTube, they would ban your channel. You know what I mean? But only South Park can do South Park, which is kind of sad, but also, you know, it is what it is. said, but yeah, if you remember World of Warcraft, that guy directly based on Pirate Software's dad. Oh, who was friends with the writers. Oh, wow. I actually read about that on Reddit not too long ago. We keep those streams open in our second and third tabs. What do you keep open? We keep those streams open. You lost me on that part. Okay. So let's get in here. Come on. Come on, Timothy James. Let's stay focused now. Luckily, Oliver hasn't tried, or excuse me, Charlie hasn't tried to stop me. She's probably sleepy or something.
That's what I was telling you. You should have named that cat Oliver.
Well, Oliver is actually based off of a female cat named Oliver.
That's funny.
My cousin's cat's named Oliver, yeah. I never physically held her before. She was so skittish, she would not allow you to hold her, which I like holding animals. So it's like a thing. Now, there's a crazy thing, too. As I get older, I realize holding hamsters, kind of not cool. I mean, unless the hamster's cool with it,
really?
but most hamsters don't want to be held. If you really want to be good to your hamster, you should probably never hold it.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, they're rodents. They're rodents, man.
I know rats like to be held. Like people who do pet rats.
Really? Oh, you know what? My
Yeah,
sister had pet rats. Pet rats are really smart. They're way smarter than hamsters. I don't mean to be speciest, but that's just my experience.
My neighbor, she used to have pet rats, but the issue was her sister had pet snakes.
Oh God! So she had pet food.
So well, yeah, you know, I don't feel like I need to tell the end of this story because I feel like the setup of the story you kind of told the punchline already.
Yeah, kind of. You did. You kind of already hurt your. Yeah, the joke has already been told. That's the joke. My hamster bit the shit out of me. I'm reading Soup's comment. My hamster bit the shit out of me the first night I got him. Eventually, I was the only one he would let hold him. Rest in peace, Pinky. That's hilarious. Soup's out here holding it down.
Pinky in the brain.
Yeah, I know. Pinky in the brain. That's what I was thinking. Soup's over here holding it down. Here you go, Soup. You know what I'd be entertaining? Doing your dabs, talking and watching streams. This is the new world. This is a brave new world. James, I gotta send you this slingshot or this crossbow thing that I designed with a flywheel for the book. I need you to check it out. Let me know if there's anything I should add to it or something.
Yeah, I mean, wait, do you want me to make it? What are you asking me to do?
I'm asking you to be a consultant and take a look at it and make sure it makes physics sense.
Oh, physical sense?
Yeah.
Hell, man, if I get some free time with this baby, I might prototype.
Oh, geez. No, we don't have to go that route. I only want to make toys for Conformity Farm. But I don't really have enough money to do toys. I only got enough money to do a book run. So hopefully there's an initial push. I don't know. You know, I was going to say I wasn't going to talk about it, but I think, you know, actually I'm thinking about it. I think I'm going to continue not to talk about it. What is this? Where are these lines coming from? Oh, okay. So these are here. All right, come on, buddy. Let's draw through this top area here, okay? So we're going to put some more squares. Let's say there's some windows here, huh? Some little windows.
From the window to the wall. No.
You'll listen to that, but not Post Malone.
Nah, I'm not. I don't know what you're talking about. I actually have never heard that song. I joined something in high school called Key Club.
Okay.
Which was this like it was this like honor society club for kids who couldn't really get honors.
Did you go there because they gave you guys free meals before every meeting?
No. I got that from the free lunch program until Michelle Obama came around.
Oh, nice. Looking out for you.
The song that we would sing at the beginning of all, they would like make everybody sing this song, and like the club was like bear themed, and it was like from the window to the wall, to the sweat drips off our paws, and then like it just continued like that. But it was this wild thing because I'd never heard the song, so I thought they wrote it.
Ah, and you thought they were super talented? You're like, these guys are
I
good.
was like, this is a fucked up song about like bears, man. Like, why is this about bears?
You know, so I went to an inner city public school, and it was about half and half, like black and white. And I remember, I think it was my junior or senior year when that song came out. So there's a line. It's a Lil Jon song. It's like, to the window, to the walls, to the sweat drop down my balls. All them females crawl, or something like that. And then he goes, skeet, 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 skeet. Skeet, skeet, skeet on your back. Now, skeeting is ejaculating. And they were saying, I can't believe that this song is all over the radio. It's such a gross thing, is what, some of these kids in one of my class were saying. They were some black kids. And I was like, you know why? It's because white people don't know what skeet means. I don't know what it means. And they were like, oh shit, that's exactly what it is. It's just no one knows what it means. But, certain people knew what it meant. It just kind of exposed, like, you ever heard of a Cockney accent?
Yes.
Okay, so Cockney, do you know what Cockney is? I'll explain. So Cockney is slang term for Old English. So back in the day, poor people on the street would speak Cockney. Now Cockney was kind of comparative to, I don't know if you're allowed to call it Ebonics or whatever, but like common, or maybe, I don't even know what you would say, but like common speak we have or whatever it is. Some of my friends would say it's improper English, which is, I think, inaccurate. As I get older, I realize, like, just because someone has a different vernacular or has a different a language doesn't mean it's improper. You should do lyric breakdowns and do that one first. No, I'm not doing that. Thanks though, Soup. Thanks for the idea. What was I talking about? God bless it.
Have you heard that on that note? Have you heard the spoken word version of WAP versus Baby It's Cold Outside?
No, I never heard I've heard the common speak of WAP, but I didn't know they were comparing it to that. It's
so
getting
people are comparing it a lot because
Baby It's Cold
the song
Outside
Baby It's Cold Outside is like getting like canceled.
Well, yeah,
it's kind of rapey.
It's absolutely rapey. He's convincing her to take a Quaalude so that she passes out and doesn't go home so they can have sex.
Yes.
Yeah.
But it's getting compared to WAP.
How's that the same? I don't understand. Go ahead.
Because it's just because they're so like different. You know what I mean? It's like this song's getting a lot of hate, and then these are the lyrics, and then these are the lyrics of the song. Of some songs in the top 100, you know?
Yeah. You know, when I was in college, I wrote a play that actually wasn't too bad. It was loosely based off of the allegory of the cave, and one of the people in the class who actually worked with me to write it, it was basically, the whole play was based on this concept that there was a teacher, a drama teacher, who was trying to put together a musical or a play to put on in the school, and every time he brought up a play, the students would be like, no, you're canceled, you can't do that. And so we kept trying to find classical literature that was cancelable for the conversation of what we were doing. So it was actually a really good formula for a story. But when we were doing that, like for example, Sleeping Beauty, that's a non-consensual kiss. Then you have Snow White. Those are a bunch of creepy guys who got this one chick. And then he brought up the rapiness of this song, Baby It's Cold Outside. And this is before anyone was talking about it. And he pointed it out, and he was really tuned in. I wanted to write with this guy more, but he just wasn't willing to work as hard as I do. And that's the truth. I mean, that's exactly kind of what happened. Like, one day I called him. We were supposed to get together pretty early in the morning, and I was taking care of everything. I was going to pick him up, and I was going to do all the driving and buy lunch and stuff. And he just, the morning of, He sent me a very rude text message, and he said, hey, I don't want to work on anything you're doing. I don't want to help you. I don't want to assist with you. I'm sorry. I don't want to leave. And it just made me realize, like, when it came to the moment to really get into the details, he just didn't want to show up. So if he's not going to show up for himself, he's sure as hell not going to show up for me. But when he had to do it for the class, he was a really good contributor. Yeah, this concept of the allegory of the cave is kind of like what they do with Black Mirror. Uh-oh, Soup's on the boy. What do we got? Cardi B admitted to drugging and robbing her clients when she was a sex worker. Not shaming her, just stating facts. Yeah,
That's crazy.
I'd never heard that. I'd never heard that, but I do.
Didn't Cardi B force one of her interns to deep throat bananas or something crazy?
I've never heard that.
Or hot
either.
dogs.
I've never heard that one either. No.
I heard Cardi B was on some crazy shit.
Oh, sure, for sure. She definitely was. I think she's out of Detroit, isn't she? I mean, those are some of the craziest acts. I mean, Eminem's out of Detroit. Those are some of the craziest acts, are the Detroit acts. That's, in my opinion, they're the actual artists. I think originality is really important. What do we got going on here? All right, let's fill in these details in this little corner right here, and then we're going to move on. Because I think we got what we need. If I have to, I can hide this in some shadow if I don't get any more time to work on it. Just put some pipes over here. What are we looking at? Okay. Some pipes over here. Now, it kind of seems like I'm not doing too much, but when you pull out, you realize it all kind of blends together in this really cool structure here. Also, I will say, Soup, as you were saying, like, you would have issues with being a perfectionist. The other aspect of it, too, is that you can do too much detail that doesn't show up in the book when you draw this stuff. And so that could actually hurt your productivity as well, where your productivity doesn't go anywhere. Or having poor organization with your file management. I mean, that's probably one of my biggest issues. Actually, Ben at BMT actually helped me out with that a lot. He was like, just follow this folder management. And I was like, I got it, man. And he was like, no, just do it. And he was right. And it was the right way to do it.
Damn. Yeah. It's always a shame when somebody's right.
Yeah, I'm okay. Listen, I just want to be right. Not right in the debate, but I want to have the right information. So if you got the right information, I want it. I'm not worried about, being right. I mean, if you don't know something and you have to speak up and say, hey, I don't know this, you only have to deal with embarrassment for a very small amount of time, except for my last job. But that's their problem. That's a culture issue. But you shouldn't be afraid to ask questions and clarify things. Also, once you get clarified, then what's the issue? Now I know. But
that's what I look for in my new hires is, people who are not going to ask questions. And I try to create an environment where people are afraid to talk to me.
You're going to make a great dad.
Yeah.
Have you done any self-portraits? I've actually, that's so funny. I do have a self-portrait in my bathroom, and I will bring it and show it to you.
I'm actually excited to see this. I don't know what you're talking about.
This is actually, I did this at Harold Washington when I first started my digital art education, whatever. But this is a portrait of me. It's kind of got some stylization per usual. But yeah, this is the closest thing to a self-portrait I've ever done. I don't really like drawing myself. I'll tell you what, I don't really like looking at myself either. Most of the first book, I never streamed with a camera. I also cook. Fucking wild, I love that. Look at that, Soup's turning into a fucking awesome contributor. That's what's up. And he just happened to just find this. That's cool, man.
Nice.
What part of the country are you in, Soup? If you don't mind me asking. I'm gonna call him Soup so I don't have to call him Boner.
I had a friend, his old username was,
Oh my God!
Wisconsin.
Do you know where I am? Soup, do you know where I am? That's wild. It's just Drew.
So I had a friend. His username was hilarious, and he ended up changing it because it was just driving him so nuts. But his name was Limp Monkey, but everybody just started calling him Limp, and he got so tired of being called Limp that like he paid money to like get his like gamer tag changed.
Oh my God.
And it's been his gamer tag for like a decade. But one day he was like, you know what, I just got a paycheck. I'm fucking tired of being called Limp.
I said,
believe it or not, we kept calling him Limp.
Look at brother, to be honest, I don't know who the fuck you are. No disrespect though. No, I'm just guess what city I'm in. Oh well, okay. All right, Soup. He's like, to be honest, sorry, I have no idea who the fuck you are. That's fair. No, I'm in Chicago. That's why I say that. So I'm not very far away from Wisconsin. And you know what's interesting too is that these books will be available on sale in Madison. I think Madison will be definitely Madison, because I can actually take them there. Yeah, there you go. Now you can remember who the F I am, who the frick I am. What the frick? I was like, do you know where I'm at? He's like, no offense, I have no clue who you are, man. What are we doing here? You really want me to guess? Also, guess my favorite color. It's getting too late. What's your favorite color, James? Purple?
I'm in flux right now. I don't know that I could tell you what my favorite color is.
Oh, interesting.
I'm normally a mulberry person.
Soup's in Madison. Mulberry? What color is mulberry?
It's like a very rich purpley pink.
Okay, yeah. That's kind of where I was going with it. Yeah, no, there's going to be... The book will be available in Madison to buy, so there will be that. My territory that I'm going to keep, like, the first territory I'm tackling is the Great Lakes region. So I'm from outside of Detroit in Toledo. So we'll be there. I think my mom will probably handle distribution in the Northwest Ohio area.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. And I told her, because she had invested a lot of money, I said, hey, you can pick those up if you want. Let's see. It's getting too late. No, I was excited. I wasn't saying that you knew who I was, Boner. I was just saying we're pretty close to each other. It's funny. It's a small country.
Also, I just fucking love Wisconsin.
I do. I like Wisconsinites. As an Ohioan, we have a lot of appreciation for Wisconsinites. We're very similar in some ways. I think...
Dude, where do you think I put on all this weight, man?
In the basement?
I definitely kept it here in Chicago, but I put it on in Wisconsin.
I love how in Wisconsin they're so unapologetically loving alcohol. They like drink with everything.
Dude, it was crazy. I was drinking every single day, and people were asking me if I was all right because I wasn't drinking as much.
Like, oh, well, are you on a diet or something?
It's like, hey, man, you only had one beer. What's going on? Is everything okay?
Yeah, he said beer.
And I'm like, dude, we're just drinking every single day.
Oh, Soup. We literally were just talking about Spotted Cow. What would you rate Spotted Cow on a scale of 1 to 5? 5 being the highest, and 1 being the lowest. But it is massively underestimated and not talked about enough. Yeah, I mean, you guys are great. Wisconsinites are great. There's nothing. That's a great state. Those are good people. No, Kitty, I'm talking to Soup, not you. 6, the only beer I drink. Ah, dude, Soup said that's the only thing he drinks. That's hilarious. We were just talking about it. Spotted Cow is the yummiest beer all around. I'm trying to think if there's a better... I really liked
I like a New Glarus Moon Man. I think that's their IPA.
I haven't had that. Is Alpha King?
Pretty good.
Is Three Floyds? Three Floyds is in Indiana, isn't it? See you, Bob. Thanks for hanging out,
I thought they
buddy.
were Iowa? I'm not sure.
What? Three Floyds is definitely Indiana, I believe. Well, it's not definitely, but it's adjacent to Illinois because they actually can't.
I thought it was Iowa.
I think it's Indiana. Well, look it up. Yeah, I love Spotted Cow. I really enjoy Fat Tire. Fat Tire is always a really good beer. But as of recently living in Chicago, I just drink domestic light beer, whatever the bar prefers. So I'll drink Schlitz and PBR and stuff, which is funny because when I was in my 20s, I would never drink cheap beer. It's funny how that went away.
Huh.
My buddy Corey, he prides himself in drinking like literally the worst kind of beer. I think I just from hanging out with him so much. And he's a big drinker when applicable.
I have a couple of friends, and their whole thing is like Chicago handshakes.
Which is, what is that? Jameson, a Pickleback, and a... no, it's not Jameson. What is it? It's Miller Lite and Malort.
No, it's a Malort and Old Style.
Oh my god. That's rough.
Yeah.
Thanks for hanging out, Bob. I love Bob. Bob was one of them. I think Bob was one of them who was like, hey, I hope you're okay. And I'm like, yeah, I'm fine. He's like, okay. Just going to let you know I'm here. I'm like, all right. All right, so I think we got this corner here. You know what's funny is now that I did this corner, let's do a little highlight of this. Now that I've done this corner, the funny thing is now what pops out is this other part right here. So this kind of pops out, needs a little bit of detail, this too, and then this. This could use some, but I might be able to light it, and I think I might put some shadows around these parts here. So that's about as far as I need to go for now, though. So let's cut this. Let's merge these layers. Make sure we get something real beautiful here. This is nice. It's cool. I wonder how this is going to turn out. Let me go all the way. Not bad. Okay, not bad. Yeah, maybe we'll get this in-between part in the future. But for now, I'm gonna go ahead and move forward, all right? We're not going to draw this forever. So let's merge these. We'll have to bring those back. And then what do we got here? We got these. This is a three-piece here. Where... Whoop, whoop, whoop. Whoop. Yeah, there we go. I don't think I need to dive into this one. This one's done, I think. Maybe like a highlight. I might highlight around the ship. By the way, when I said underestimated, I meant alcoholism and drinking problems. But it is massively underestimated and not talked about enough. Oh, you're talking about too much alcoholism? Well, you know, I have no opinion, you know. Chicago's a big drinking town itself. Like where I'm from in Ohio, if you look in an alleyway and you see someone on their hands and knees and they're puking in the alleyway, in Ohio, people will say, I don't know when he let himself go. You know, he's having a hard time or whatever. But if you're in Chicago and you see somebody puking in the alleyway, people go, they're having a good time. So it is culturally fundamentally different. So maybe we'll highlight this a little bit. And maybe we'll highlight this other one. But I'm going to leave this one to its own devices. There we go. Does this communicate that this is a ship? Basically, this ship is parking. I don't know if that communicates. You looking at this, James?
I'm on a few second delay.
Okay.
Because
Well, I'll keep
I'm
it
on
up
the
there.
Discord audio, not the...
Right. You guys want to see my Kiki as I wait for this to catch up? Hey, babe. Come Kiki up. Come here. You're such a sweet girl. Say hi to everybody. This is my very violent Kiki. Yeah, please don't bite me. Not right now. What's James's
Charlie
role?
is such a cute little kitty.
She is, but she's so feral. So yeah, this is 3 panels. This is actually a ship, a transport ship, rotating around and using its thrusters to kind of like steer itself. And I'm trying to get it to come into the docking area, so it's gonna dock.
It's reading in the bottom 2 panels, but I don't think you're reading in the top panel. You know what I mean?
Yeah, might have to put some exposition on it, because I think it'd be tough to try to draw. Or I could do, because really what you have is you have a side image of the top panel, and then we switch to the bottom, and then the second one is just a few seconds after. Look at that, she just chews on me. She just chews on me.
I think the thing is, it feels like a different, like, my expectation of what the ship is in the bottom 2 images is very different than what I see in the top image.
Well, it's because it's a different side of it. So the bottom is all kind of black. That's where the thruster is.
Yeah.
But you're saying that's not reading?
They look like entirely different ships.
What's James's role? Is he your boss? Does he sound like my boss? No. James is a colleague. So he's a
I'm just some dude on the Discord trying to contribute how I can.
If
you'd like to join the conversation, please join the Discord.
Oh yeah, Soup, if you want to join the Discord, you're welcome to join. He'd be a really cool boss. Yeah. I don't know. Would it be cool for James to be your boss? I don't know. Do you James,
I don't know.
You can't get a link to the Discord, can you?
I don't know how to send that. I was somebody's boss I still technically am, but yeah, the guy that was working for me quit recently. He got a job designing slot machines.
That's so cool.
I mean, yeah, it's cool. It's, you know, I wanted him to design toys for me, but you know, he's gonna design slot machines for somebody else and make a shit ton more money.
Yeah. What do we do? Did I do this over here? I brought all this stuff over here and didn't even use it. Alright, so let's do this drawing. This would be a really nice one. So this is a close-up of those ships. So this is going to be an interesting challenge here. So you have, I'll put these in the corner over here. Whoops. See, I get so disorganized quickly. So this is one more panel to kind of see a close-up of this ship. Now, on the back of this ship, this one has got one thruster is kind of, you can see. And this one, it's got 3 thrusters. I'm going to still keep moving forward with it, but I do think the consistency is a little bit of a bummer, but yeah. No, James is a colleague of mine. So he, you know, when he's doing really cool stuff, I try to be around for that, and I think vice versa. So he's been along for the ride for a large portion of this, and so he knows what's going on. Okay.
You know, I try my best.
You do try your best. Yeah, let's blow this up. Let's get into this panel. Let's get into it. It's getting too late. So at this point, the ship is opening. So maybe what we could do is open this door up and put some characters in there observing. Let's see what we can come up with. All right. So this is part of the improvisational process of writing this. Now, had I done a really good job and done all the layout and the scripting before time, I don't see a link for the Discord. Okay, you want to get into the Discord, Soup? You can. Hold on one second. Let me pull it up and grab a link. I'll have to launch it on the computer that I'm drawing on. But yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome to the Discord. The Discord link on Instagram is not. I think they only last for like a couple days. I don't see a link for the Discord. Okay. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get this drawing, a close-up of this ship. And let's get in here. Huh? I wonder if there's another drawing. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a little bit of homework. I'm going to go backwards on my book and look at what's going on with this ship. So I have a reference here on the first draft where the ship comes and lands. Yeah, so it's got 3 thrusters right here. Right here. So we're gonna keep with that. So it might actually not be. It might be 6 thrusters, but 3 on each side that you can see. Let's see the Discord launch. Discord is such a hefty program.
It really is.
It
It's
is.
surprisingly so.
Well, it seems like they're trying to be everything. Like they want to be a place where you can do so much. I mean, you can run. I run Mid-Journey through Discord. It's wild.
Yeah, I mean, you can just do so much through it.
You can like write programs.
And its filtering is really good. I mean, I could eat a bag of chips right now, and you would not be able to hear me eat that bag of chips.
Well, to be fair, my audio is never that good on Discord.
That's fair. I don't know. I feel like I got my audio settings dialed in.
I always got to change things every time I'm on. It's so embarrassing, especially for being a video audio person. Super CPU intensive. Yeah, no, I get it. Let's see. There might be a link coming up. All right, hold on. All right, so Soup, did you follow me on YouTube? Okay, invite people. Copy.
FOC.
There you go.
Ooh.
FOC, what does that mean?
Ah.
I don't know what that means.
Ah.
All right, so I'm actually...
I'm not hip with the lingo for my... I'm surprisingly not hip with the lingo for my age.
Yeah.
For being 26, I don't understand anything.
God, I can't believe you're 26. So wild. There we go. We'll do it on the corner here. So we'll see a little bit of the... this is actually a film thing. What you do is kind of called over the shoulder. But it's not quite over the shoulder, but we'll see a little bit of this, and we'll see a little bit of the opening here. So yeah, we'll get in here and do that detail. Let's shut this down. And so let's say as it's opening... So where did we put this in? Gosh, what chapter is this? Sorry, this is docking chapter 10. I'm going to look at the splat on 10. I mean, of course, as in of course, but I oafed. Oh, I see. Let's take a look at this.
Goth Jesus. Goth Jesus has entered the Discord.
Is he Goth Jesus? Yeah, he said that was one of his names, so that's definitely Soup. Yeah, Soup, we're in general. So let's see if I can get a splat. No, is there no splat? Is that our guy?
I don't know if you can see the Discord, TJ.
Oh, yeah. No, I don't see it. I don't see a splat for this. Okay. That's fine. How is there not a docking splat? Okay. Oh, okay. That is the next one. Okay. So the way that this works is that we'll have this panel right here. Whoops. Right here. And then that leads to the next one would be this panel, which is all color. This was done, God, this drawing was done so long ago. I think I was still at BMT when I finished this drawing. So this is the ship coming in. Yeah. This is one of the very first ones. It was mostly like, because I generally turn my concept work into whatever it is. So really what we need to do is we need to see the ship on the outside of this this position here. I don't know if you guys can see it. It looks like it's, oh no, it hasn't come up on the stream yet. So I think that it's kind of like this. And then the character should be very small, kind of like this. And then they'll have some long shadows, like this, following the perspective lines. Okay, yada, yada, yada. So we're kind of looking like this. Why don't we have Colonel Spitz waiting, along with some other crew? Because that actually makes sense for the story. So we're going to put him here, and then we'll actually put Colonel Spitz's ship right here. He's got this little transport ship that he drives around internally. So this will work. Okay, cool. We're getting there. We're getting there, baby. All right.
Meow.
Meow. All right, let's put this one in here. Meow. Meow. I know what you're meowing about. Okay. What are you doing, Kiki? Checking up on my Kiki, make sure she doesn't try to steal my straws. Okay. So then this...
Just straws?
Yeah, she's a straw bandit. So what we might need to do is just come in here with some straight lines. Straight lines, okay. Little too thin. Let's make them thicker, boys. Like this, okay. And so the real shot would be, and we actually might want to move this over a little bit composition-wise. This is kind of where my cinematography background comes through. Pinky up, pinky up. Maybe put it like right here, yeah. And then we'll bring this bad boy in. I wonder if I could do this in 5 minutes. I should try to see if I can do the 5-minute challenge for this composition. I'll get it organized a little bit, and yeah, let's see if we can get into the 5-minute realm. Okay, yeah. And then our doors look kind of like this. Where's a close-up of the door? So technically, we could probably steal this. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of copy and paste, but it's a technology that's really something. If you don't know it yet, you got to learn it. Okay. And then, so yeah, it'd be something like this. Oh, it's interesting. This is actually more on an angle. Maybe we'll stick with that. Okay, so let's drop the opacity on this. And what we'll do is, oh, I think I want it to be maybe a little bit smaller. Yeah, we want to see them at the base. And also the light from the thrusters are actually going to light the characters internally. So let's get rid of this. Let's get rid of this. Actually, why don't we start? Let's start that dang old timer. That dang old timer. And then we got this part, and we'll clean this up. I'm cheating. I'm cheating. Start your timer. Don't be out here cheating. Don't be cheating. Cheating a little bit. Okay. That's not bad. Actually, let's drop this down. We'll start with a whole different layer. And then even this one can come down a little bit. All right, cool. Let's start this timer. I'll use it on my phone, though, because these website timers have been pretty bogus. They want you to restart. All right, we're going to start a 5-minute timer. I should get a clock for the Discord, or not for the Discord, for the stream, though. For real. I should have like a little clock and then do it that way, but I'll have to build that stuff.
Bro, I thought you said Crocs, and I'm like, I'm way ahead of you. I'm wearing my Crocs right now.
No. All right, we're going to start the timer, and now. So 5 minutes. Let's see if we can get this. I'm not going to do the panel, so let's just draw on top of this. Let's just free ball it, all right? This is actually what I was talking about before, Soup, which is like, I have the ability to streamline draw, but if I spend too much time thinking about things, it does affect the quality in a negative way. So I just gotta kind of trust my heart. Follow by heart.
I'm a hydrate while you're on your timer. I'll be back.
Sounds good. Oh, kitty. Oh, no. You always want to play fetch when I'm on the timer, kitty. You always want to do that, kitty. No, kitty. No, kitty. No, kitty. Kitty, I'm trying to accomplish my dreams, kitty. No. It's really too late. Okay. And so these are opening up, and you would say that there's kind of like, you know, maybe something like that. What is it, kitty? No, kitty, no! No, kitty! She wants me to throw her little mousey. She'll play fetch. She'll bring it back. She's a sweet girl. I got a cool cat. She's very bitey, though. I wish she wasn't so bitey, but maybe she'll outgrow it. She knows that I'm good. She's feral. She was, like, found in the woods. Where we at here on the timer? We got 3 minutes, so we still got a bunch of time here. Let's, gosh, I don't know what to do with this door here. And also, it doesn't really have the symmetry I'm looking for. But let's just, you know, these are close-ups, so you can kind of come in here and, all right, there, here. And you could kind of go like this with the ship. Yeah, we're going to have to definitely come in here for the detail, otherwise it won't fit. Is she fixed? No, she's not. She's not fixed. But she's only 3 months old, 3 or 4 months old. So that time's coming. Because otherwise she's going to turn into a crazy girl. What is it, Kiki? By the way, do you animate at all? Yeah, I do a lot of animation. I'm actually classically... I've trained in classical animation. It's my favorite thing to do. But animation is so difficult and labor intensive that it was more effective. And I've done animations. They're on the YouTube channel. You can watch some short ones. They're all right. They're fine. But some of my better stuff never got released just because, you know, the whole perfectionism thing. But yeah, if you go to the YouTube channel, I've got a few animations out there on the YouTube channel. I'd like to do more. Once this book's done, I'm going to do a few over the holiday season. So basically what I'm going to do is release these books, and then I'm going to try to pour out content over the holiday season and, you know, see how that works. All right, let's get rid of this. Oh, goodness. I don't like these lines. Let's get this out of here. You're out. Ooh, I like the fire, though. So let's do everything, get everything out of here but the fire. What is it, Kitty? What are you attacking, Key? Don't be attacking nothing, Key. Be a good Key. Come on, Key. Come on, Key. Be a good Key. All right, there. We got rid of that. Let's get rid of this. Yeah, that'll work. And I think the rest of them are fine. Okay. So let's maybe drop you down. Whoa, Key. She's got the cutest little jump at me. By the way, do you animate it all? Oh, yeah, you already asked me that. Hey, where's the mousey at? If you don't have a mousey, I can't throw nothing. Yeah, give me the mousey, Kiki. Give me the mousey. She's such a sweet girl. I'm so glad I got her. James tried to tell me not to get her. He's like, don't get a cat.
That is a lie.
God damn it, where'd you go? Where'd you go? Where'd you go? No, yeah.
I was getting water, man.
No, James was like, that's a stupid idea. Stay alone. Try to isolate yourself as much as possible. Avoid looking into the mirror. I was like, okay, whatever.
I mean, I definitely said avoid looking in the mirror, but the cat, no, I was all in for the cat. Companionship is a big deal for me.
Could you imagine telling someone to avoid looking in the mirror, but like consistently? Just an odd thing to do. Where's your mousey at, Kiki?
It's like saying don't look into that.
Yeah, it kind of is. But yeah, I do animate. I keep looking for Soup's comments. Where's your mousey at? Huh? Quit attacking me if you ain't got no mousey to throw. mousy. And if you throw her mousy, she'll come and bring it back most of the time. Yeah, she's a sweet girl. She's a little rough around the edges, but she knows I'm good. So I'm a little bummed out she still attacks me. But, I mean, I don't know. She's getting nicer. I think she's just trying to play, honestly. It would actually probably be better if I had another cat for her to play with, but she'll just have to get used to being an only child. Because I'm not going to get another one. What is it? What is it, Kiki? What is it? Are you going to have another one, James? Another kitten?
Baby?
Yeah.
Yeah, we want to. I don't know. I don't want to have an only child.
Okay.
But you know, Josie will have Rufus for now.
Josie? I love it. I remember she is cute. I remember dating girls who were only children, and it used to break my heart because they liked having alone time, and I would be like that clingy guy. We'd be like, "What are you doing now?" And they're like, "I'm just being by myself." Like, only children, like, they generally end up being introverts because they get so good at being alone. She is a cutie, isn't she?
Huh.
Quit attacking my leg. She's not doing it hard, though.
My computer's crashing. I gotta do a restart.
All right, we'll be here. What is it?
I'll be back in a second.
Are you a sweet girl? Where are we at here? We're at... Do we make our... Oh, yeah, we're way past our time. Where are we at here? Yeah, Soup, you've been making this fun, man. We're at... Where are we at here? 2 hours and 25 minutes. Not too bad. All right, maybe we'll drop the opacity on this. Did we already hit our 5 minutes? Let's do another one. And then after this next 5 minutes, I'm actually going to end the drawing. So that actually answers your question, man. I don't want to stop drawing this, but in the grand scheme of it, I don't get judged on individual panels. I get judged on the entire body of work. So the discipline is to learn to let certain things go so that you can have, you know, the greater good for the whole. She's just a little Kiki. Meow, 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 meow. Oh my god, the physics of the propulsion system is probably not very accurate. Can you imagine someone trying to talk to a physicist and they're like, listen, I don't think this guy's ships in this Conformity Farm books are accurate. Let's maybe come around this way. There we go. Come around like this. Something doesn't seem to be right. I'm really good with organic shapes, but when I start working with like real stuff, it becomes a little tougher because it's less forgiving. Okay, yes, and then the ship would actually be... That's the perspective line. Okay, yeah. Are we on a timer? We are. We got 3 minutes and 46 seconds. All right, let's cruise through this. Also, let's fill this in with black because that's really what this is. So I'm going to go ahead and give it a little bit of an outline. May not look good at first, but as I tighten it up, it'll look better. So I definitely will come back to this at some point. There we go. Okay, so then we got that. Well, that didn't take long.
Yeah, it's a pretty quick computer.
Good for you.
I think I'm running too many monsters on it, and that's the issue.
Dude, you know, I'm telling you, man, Discord will do it too.
I'm running Discord, YouTube, a video game, and I'm using Bluetooth on multiple devices. And also the game I'm playing is like doing a lot of hot fixes right now because their DLC launch was trash.
You know what's so crazy? So I play Fortnite, and they update Fortnite a lot and change things. So if you don't like the update, just wait. There'll be another one soon. And that's
what they say about the weather in the Midwest.
That's what they say about the weather everywhere, though. Well, I guess except for San Diego. You know, one of the cheapest things you can do in comedy is be like, you know, you guys are great, Not like those idiots down in Mississippi. They're all like, yeah, they're not us. Fuck them. Is YouTube okay with the F word? I feel like they are.
I don't know.
It seems like the S word and the F word somehow stopped being curse words. I know
That's good.
I know the FCC doesn't like them, but I'm not sure that I don't like these texture lines I built here. They look cheap. Yeah, I don't like those. I don't like these lines I did here. I want to cut them. They look like shit. Look like some independent book. Which I don't want to look like. It's really too late. Where are we at here? All right, we got 55 seconds. All right, in 55 seconds. Okay, let's just get in here and just noodle away some details here. Noodle these details. You noodle. I noodle. We all noodle away.
What is your favorite type of noodle, PJ?
Oh, I like angel hair.
Oh, like an angel hair pasta?
Yeah.
It does cook rather quickly.
I just like the texture of them.
Yeah?
Yeah. And I make spaghetti, especially as a starving artist myself. There's a lot of spaghetti meals that I'll leverage.
Do you ever make a good meatball?
No, I never got to do that yet. All right, so that's 5 minutes. Let's I'm gonna cheat a little bit.
Did James write the book? Wait, what? No. So fun fact about me, not that everybody wants to know about me, is I'm functionally illiterate. I can't read. But I'm also a mechanical engineer.
He can read. That's just his disclaimer. He can read.
Kinda. I'm not very good at it. I have like the reading level of like a 3rd or 4th grader, I think.
So Conformity Farm's perfect for you. Oh, okay. The author is Timothy James, which is I. I am Timothy James. Yes. So maybe what we should do for these doors... Oh, I think there's some textures on these doors on the inside. Yeah, so these doors actually have like a... kind of something similar to this. We'll have to get into it.
Yeah, maybe I should not go by James on the stream here, and to prevent the confusion.
Doesn't matter.
Start calling me Jimbo or something.
James Bo.
Jambo.
You know what the feeling is when when the alarm goes off, I feel like I'm getting woken up from a dream. That's how much I love drawing. This really isn't work. The part that's work is when I have to stop and think, which I've said a trillion times, which I'll say trillion more. That's the part I don't appreciate. That's the part I don't like.
Yeah, thinking's the worst.
I mean, yeah. Because I don't really have to think when I draw. Okay, so let's keep this up. This one did okay, so let's drop that texture. Let's drop this texture. Okay, cool. Not too bad. All right, so let's merge these layers together. Merge. Merge, you thought I wouldn't say banana or something. I don't know. Okay, we got this. And then we got this. Okay, cool. So that's a panel. We need to do a little bit more with the door here. Actually, you know what? I'm going to do something with the door just because these really need to be... Technically, if I have to leave it the way it is, it should be good by now. You know what I'm saying? I will definitely try to come back to it, but I may not be able to, so let's just kind of do some stuff here. Luckily, with my style, I can kind of get away with some of this stuff. Maybe something like this. something that signifies as a lock. Gosh, that's look amateurish. But all right, we're there. All right, cool. So we got this panel, and this panel actually goes between. So you have this page here. Come on, merge. Merge. So you got this full page here, which is these three, right? And then the next page is a close-up, this one, or it's not the page, but the panel. And this is a close-up, and then we switch into the interior of the environment, which is here. So not too bad, huh? So if we put that on, the actual size of the book would look something like this. Something
Cool.
like this, yeah. Now the this probably needs to come down a little bit. Yeah, something like this. So I might need to put some exposition in here or something, but it does stretch out a little bit, which is a problem with a lot of the drawings that I have. But it's all right. We'll work through it. So you kind of see we're moving through space, right? That's what this is all about. Okay, and then what am I looking at here? Okay, I got this. This one's called delete canvas. I think this one's got the details that we needed. No, it wasn't. So let's delete this. And I don't think this did anything we wanted either. So we'll actually keep this one and this one. All right, hold on. I got to do a little bit of housekeeping by dropping this in here and then erasing the old one so that we don't have any confusion for me in the future. I would say that's the hardest part of this whole book is just keeping organized. It can fall apart pretty quickly and get very frustrating pretty quickly. Okay, so then we got this one, and the 5-minute exercise is really nice because I could be working on this for fucking 2 hours, and excuse me, I gotta stop saying the F word for someone who's making this kind of book. It's not appropriate, I don't think. There we go.
Frickin'.
Frick. With all the frickin'
I
frick.
gotta start working on that too. With this baby on the way, I need some swear words that aren't swear words. So if anybody in the chat got some good like cheese and crackers type swear words, lay them on me.
I like to say I had an aunt who was very religious, and people would try to swear God, and instead of saying God damn it, she would say God bless it with the same emphasis. And I've taken that into my adulthood, and I think it's charming.
You have said that, yeah. That is a good one.
It's a good one. Okay, so we got a lot of stuff here. Let's get this. Make sure this is where all the work is, right? Look at all the heavy lifting on this panel. So let's copy this. Let's put this in this space now. Delete this. Put this here. Let's scale it down. That's another thing too. When I scale these down, it loses the quality. So I do a lot of compressing and decompressing. No bueno. No bueno. But that's where we're at. And by the next book, I won't make that mistake. So what do we got? We got all the panels we wanted to do. Look at that. Look at that.
Wow.
Wow. All right. Well, what are we going to do next? So we got more of these. Let's keep going, y'all. Not me. I was raised in a house of fucks and shits and asses. Well, that's the thing, though, Soup. So was I. But I just decided to not be like the people that I grew up around.
I think it would be really hard to find a family to grow up in that's not full of asses. Like an assless family would be a sad thing.
Yeah, my family's... I'm the only...
Immaculate bathroom if nobody has butts, but...
I grew up assless, so...
Assless?
Assless, yeah.
Yeah, TJ, that is far from the truth. As somebody as voluptuous as you are.
That's true. I do have quite a rump on me. I had a nice...
For those watching at home, there's some cake behind this camera.
That's true. That's funny. I had a nice guy ass before it was cool to have a nice guy ass. Okay. So I need to make a note here because what happens is when the cats come into the Federation ship, they don't know that. No, what I think Soup was saying. Sorry, I'm going to go back to this. Soup was saying that he grew up in an environment because I was saying, God bless it. That was an aunt of mine who said that, and she would pick me and my brother up and take us to church and stuff just to kind of expose us to it. But my parents are kind of atheist type of people, kind of just whatever. And they curse a lot. They're very self-consumed in some ways. And I don't mean that in a negative way, but if you don't commit your life to something, you generally will just make it about yourself, you know? They're not bad people. They're really good people. They just didn't choose that path. And so I grew up in an environment where our parents used to curse a lot. Actually, recently I was telling my dad my family a story about what my dad said to me. And he was saying things like, the fuck is this about? Whatever. And I was saying it with all the words I remember. And it was weird because it was like almost impolite to even say the quotes back to him. And I was almost like, you got to cut this guy some slack. This was a long time ago. And he was a lot younger.
Yeah.
I think the biggest lesson I've learned... Oh, here's the mousy. You've been waiting patiently for a mousy throw. And it was over there. You got to put it in plain sight, kitty. Okay, so what I need to do is write Spitz arrival in docking. So what happens is that Oliver, Jammer, Pillowman, possibly Hamder, are on this ship that's coming in to the Cat Federation ship. And they ended... So what this whole book is about, you'd have to read this to know. But what this whole book is about... Stop nibbling on my ankles. You want to say hi? And so what happens is they come up to dock. Now, the admiral of the entire ship, Admiral Spitz, you could be all right, kitty? Admiral Spitz is there to meet with them. Now, these are the lowest ranking cats in the entire Cat Federation, is Oliver and Jammer. They have no proficiencies whatsoever because the ship is an autonomous collective of academic cats, essentially. And your rank is based off of how many proficiencies you have. And, it could be mechanical, electrical engineering, it could be chemistry or something like that, But the two lowest ranking pets, or cats rather, are Oliver and Jammer because they have no proficiencies. And they're the only ones on the entire crew that don't have proficiencies. And so why would Admiral Spitz want to see them? Well, he got informed that something was going on, but he doesn't think it's a big deal. So he's actually going to check to see if this is a big deal, which it is. But he underestimates it. So I don't want to give too much away. But basically that's what happens here. So they don't know that he's going to meet them. And he shows up in this little ship you see here that I have roughly drawn. And he's going to come out of that and they're going to ride in it. My father's side of the family is born again. My mother's side is mostly atheist agnostic. Oh, interesting. There's not a lot of religion in Conformity Farm, though. There's a little bit of it.
I had some cousins that were born again. They were really nice.
I don't have any born again people in my family. I would identify as agnostic or... Yeah, I'm probably agnostic. Or maybe even
agnostic.
Deist. Like, I think the more and more I think about it... It's interesting we're going to have this conversation. The more I think about it, it seems pretty obvious that there is something way bigger than us going on. And I think that's really what a lot of religious people latch onto, is that reality, that obvious reality. And then they use it to preach the ideology of their chosen faith. And that's the part that bothers me. I would be more of a deist, which would be kind of this idea that, that there was a creator. I think there probably is one, right? But whatever they've done, they set it up and it's like a mechanism that's moving. The idea that they're watching me from the sky and they don't want me to masturbate and silly things like that. Like, I find that almost completely unlikely. But the concept that there's something greater than us is just so obvious. I mean, you ever look through a microscope? You ever look at an organism functioning on a microscope, and when you watch it moving around the environment, right, because it's got a bunch of debris around, and you ever move something in front of I don't know what you even call those. They're not just cells, I guess. And you watch the cell observe the new object, kind of be like, where the hell did that come from? And then decide to go around, and then you put another object in and go, wow. And you can actually see it. I mean, if you were observing humans from above, we would just be like a circle in our shoulders, right? And some stuff would pop out. To me, they look the same as cells. And so the idea that the world kind of keeps repeating itself in a sense is in my mind very, very consistent with things that I see. So the idea that there is something greater seems very obvious, and honestly. I think being an atheist is too cocky. Atheist would basically be like, I know that there's nothing, which is kind of worse than the other anyway. So I say born again because the honeymoon phase of their baptism, every argument would end with, that's not very Christian. Oh yeah, so they're not really discussing it. They want, because then there's also people who just want to go to heaven, and that's the part of the religion I think that is a bit of a turnoff for me. They would threaten to call Jesus and tell him about whatever naughty thing my youngest sister would do as if he were Santa Claus. Yeah, man.
Yo, born-agains can call Jesus, like, on a phone?
Yeah, I don't know, man. That's crazy.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yes.
Wait.
Well, that's what they say. It's interesting, too. I think a lot of people... I don't know, man. I'm probably the oldest person on this stream right now. And when I was a little boy, I remember when everyone talked about God. Now it doesn't really happen that much. But back in the day, it was one of the most common conversations because there was no like internet or anything. Most people would be like, yeah, God has this plan. And I think the reason why I was late at work was because God wants this. Like people used to talk about that a lot. And it's kind of wild. The same people, I remember saying stuff like that. They don't talk like that at all. It is not a contemporary way to speak. People will think you're crazy. Unless you do it under, in your own home, under your own roof, I think you can still get away with it. Kind of similar to what Soup's saying. All right, so let me grab something really quick. It won't take me long. Make sure the kitty doesn't knock over my drink. But I got to grab some water real quick, and I'll be back. We're going to dive into Colonel Spitz approaching the ship. So I got some really cool drawings for this, but I got to kind of connect them. Man, the work, babe.
This is normally the part of the stream where I try and sell you random garbage around my
no.
my studio, but like, share, subscribe, and make sure to.
I'm glad you got out of that phrase.
Bell.
Well, it's better than what you were doing before. You would advertise just random products.
I would just advertise whatever I was eating, pretty much.
I'm glad you're not doing that.
Eating Oreos.
Please don't do that.
I'm not. I was just saying to like, share, subscribe, remember to turn on notifications.
Yeah.
I was saying the responsible stuff that you forget to say.
That's true. I should say that every single stream. Instead, I go, sorry, the stream's boring. I don't know what I'm doing. I'll do better. That's probably the most common thing I watched an interview of Conan O'Brien, and he said that the worst thing that anybody could do when they're putting on a show is apologize for it not being good. Because even if you're giving somebody the worst show ever, you need to be saying, "Man, this is great. This is awesome. I'm glad everybody's here." It's funny that you say that because one, I mean, who's a better showman than Conan? Almost nobody. So he's a great reference. But Shane Gillis was hosting Saturday Night Live, and when he was doing it, he said, "Oh wow." I think he basically said, "Oh yeah, you guys didn't like that joke. I can literally see you guys not laughing." But because I'm such a big Shane Gillis fan, I actually listened to his podcast, and that was part of the joke. But because he's not, Saturday Night Live is way bigger than really anybody, right? So you got so many people watching you on Saturday Night Live, even though he's the biggest comic out, people still don't know who the hell he is, He's not that famous. And when he did that, I thought he was bombing. And so he went on his podcast. He's like, man, people were talking online that I bombed. And he was like, I was doing fine. And so the whole conversation was like, Shane Gillis goes back to SNL because he was fired from SNL, like after being hired for like 2 days. He was canceled because of something he said on a podcast. But you probably think that you are better now. No, but my point is, yeah, I think what Conan's saying is 100% right. The one thing I've learned is like, I have a decent talent for public speaking. Not that this is public speaking. I think I would do better in front of, crowds and stuff.
A crowd.
Yeah, I have a talent for that, for communicating. And, but this is a little different. I'm actually getting better at talking, though. Let's see. Is anybody checking us out? Are we getting a little more? No. Oh, okay. So there's someone new in here. Sorry, guys. Just checking things out. Oh, wait. But I loved the church community in Nashville. I met some very good people in youth group, and that helped me through some dark times. Yeah, Soup, I'm with you, man. There are, the reason why I'm not a Richard Dawkins militant atheist that starts yelling at Christians for genital, mutilation and molestation and stuff is because I have some cousins who are Christians, specifically Christian, right? Like, they don't identify with, they're just specifically about Jesus. And these are some of the sweetest, kindest people I've ever known in my whole life. I grew up with them. When I would get babysat at my grandma's house, we were all similar ages, so me and my brother would be with them, and their family had several cottages up in Michigan, and we would go fishing. We just had the greatest time with them. And then as we started getting older, we started realizing, that we had these very fundamental differences in beliefs. And I tried to get into it, man. I did these non-denominational Christian things where, like, someone plays with a guitar and he's got like a six-pack or whatever, and everyone gets six-pack, like abs, and everyone gets like hot cocoa or whatever, and we all sing together about Jesus. And I did one of those things. They had youth group, and I loved going because the girls were really cute, but they all like wanted to be married and have a family pretty much immediately. But I do miss it. I do miss that sense of community, because if you really look at society, you see all these churches across America, but if you tear down the churches, what do you got left? You got like convenience stores and liquor stores and strip malls, and you know what I mean? Like, it's just not a lot of good stuff. So I really am hoping for the resurgence of the church in a sense of what it can help with community. I think that its fundamental community is probably the core of American culture, which is probably one of the reasons why our culture is suffering so bad with social media, because social media has no ethics attached to it. If anything, it actually emboldens the troll. I mean, look at one of our most recent presidents. And so, yeah, I don't really have a lot of bad things to say about religion. I think a lot of it is poppycock, you know what I mean? Horse shit. But I do think the community part, like you said, is really, really valuable. And I think society has not replaced it. Therefore, you can't get rid of it until you find something to replace it. Okay, so let's grab...
That's why I really like a lot of these, board game, Magic the Gathering, Warhammer shops that have been popping up.
Sure.
Is because they've kind of replaced that aspect of community for a lot of people.
100%. CrossFit's another one of them. If you get into those CrossFit people, you actually find out a lot of those people are into church and have been, but it's not like a thing to do anymore. So they're trying to fill in that gap with something else. Yeah, so I agree with you, man. And that's kind of what theater was for me. Theater was a community for me to exist in, and art has always really been that. As someone who can draw, I'm always welcomed when people can see what I can do. Sometimes people don't welcome me in Chicago because they're like, "Why aren't you full of tattoos and wearing hipster clothes?" And I'm like, "No, I can draw. Just wait, I'll be able to." I remember, dude, I'll never forget. There was a guy in one of my figure drawing classes who was just tatted all the way around and wore nothing but black. Like, he definitely had the look of an artist, right? That kind of typical look. And so I was like trying to be friends with him. It was like the first day of our figure drawing class, and he was speaking in non sequiturs. Like, he wouldn't acknowledge what I was saying. He would just be cordial enough to be humanistic, but he just was like, "I don't like you." Like, he didn't, whatever it was about my vibe, he did not like me. And you could tell he was very passionate about drawing, but he just couldn't hold a candle to me. Not to be cocky, but you know what I mean? Figure drawing and doing portraits and stuff, I thrive in this environment. And he's not bad. He's better than most by far. Like, he's definitely probably in the upper 20% tile, but I'm just better. And so I always thought that was kind of odd, where I was like, we'd be doing these reviews, and I kind of like look at his drawing, and I would kind of give him harsher criticism. Like one time he did a drawing of a girl, a figure drawing of a girl, and he took her hair and pushed it across her face. And he said he did it for stylistic reasons. And it's like, no, you didn't.
Right.
You did it because you didn't want it. You weren't hanging with the facial features, and you like what you had with the body. It's like, why would you put that thing on it? He was like, oh, I did it for style. And you know what I said? I said, don't be intimidated by it. Just go for it. That's what I said. And I remember him being like really uncomfortable, and I just didn't care because it's like, you already judged me. You've already been very rude to me. So this is review time. I can clearly draw better than you, so I'm going to start saying these things. And I would say it with full confidence, too. It made me look like a kind of a douchebag, but wouldn't be the first time. Okay. So,
I don't know. Critique is a big thing for me. So I appreciate harsher critiques because I'm trying to get better.
Right.
And, you know, if somebody wants to sit there and fool themselves, I don't want to be in a critique with them.
Oh, that's fair.
'Cause I don't. If they don't have the merit to judge their own work or allow their own work to be judged, they have no ability to judge my work.
Well, in my experience in these particular communities, people were super supportive. So they don't actually give critiques, they just give support and maybe highlight what they
I don't
liked
like
about
that
it.
at all.
So what they'll do is the best thing you can do in these types of environments is they'll highlight something, and it's the thing they didn't highlight is the thing that probably needs work. Or if you're really close to getting it right, they might give you some pointers on it, but mostly, you know, in 2024, just people don't want to offend each other. Okay. So as this ship lands, let's bring this bad boy up. Let's do a 5-minute on this one too. Let's make sure that these are correct though. I'll have to match these to this. Let's just kind of come back. You probably think that you're a kitty now. Okay. And then we do this. Drop the opacity. Let's make sure this matches. So it's not too bad. So it's like a little, is that an octagon? I don't know. What's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8-sided shape? What is that? Octagon? 8-sided?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hexagon is 6, octa is 8.
So,
Dodecahedron is at 20.
are you cussing at me?
Yeah.
Okay, so this one would kind of be like right here. So let's park this bad boy, huh? So maybe what we'll do is we'll make it a little bit bigger. So if you see, there's a bunch of characters approaching the object. I don't ever really hold the, there's a lot of consistency issues. And I would say in this genre that I'm writing for, I think consistency is really important. I think that even though mangas aren't as detailed traditionally than American comic books, mangas do have consistency to them, which allows them, you know, I think in that formula makes it work. So let's move this over. Oh, gotta grab one more. This one and this one, okay. So this is a group that's running over to observe the ship. So let's go ahead. Let's put a 5-minute timer on this one. Oh, we're at 11 o'clock. I'm an hour over.
Nice.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I kind of dragged ass today a little bit after our meeting. All right, guys, I'm gonna hit the hay. I'm glad I found your stream, though. You guys are super chill, and I'll definitely stop by again. Yeah, Soup, you've been great, man. I wasn't sure how it was gonna turn out with you at first. When you were like, I don't know who the fuck you are. I don't know you, and I was like, oh, whoa, whoa. But yeah, you've been pretty cool, man. Triggering some really interesting conversation, keeping the conversation going. So, you know, I can draw and talk.
You've been updating on Instagram, right? When you're gonna stream.
I put out a post, yeah, but I think I'm basically like shadow, not banned, but like I'm not getting any exposure on Instagram. But yeah, I did post it.
I do get your stories. That's the one thing that I do get.
Okay.
I don't get your posts, but
Okay. Well, we'll see how it goes.
So follow Conformity Farms on Instagram to get the updates on
Oh,
when
yes.
we're streaming.
Soup, I guess I could tell you, yeah. Sorry I didn't hop in the call. I left my headset at work, so I couldn't talk anyway. I wouldn't worry about it, buddy. But yeah, there's Conformity Farm on Instagram, X, TikTok, yeah, kind of. I mean, I'll have stuff coming out on those platforms, but mostly I engage Instagram, which by default goes to Facebook. I would also, you already follow me on YouTube. Yeah, so whatever programs you use. I don't use Snapchat for this stuff. Yeah, so I'll be around. Always like to try to have interesting conversations. You should look into Streamlabs or something like that where you can link your Discord and push notifications here too. Yeah, you know, Streamlabs costs money. I remember getting it like a few years ago, and I paid them like hundreds of dollars, and I never used it. So I do know people like the custom emotes, and a really cool JobBot emote would be awesome. Like JobBot just like freaking out as an emote. So yeah, I'm definitely interested in it. Maybe that'll be something once the book's done I could look into spending some time. Because yeah, I think too, I gotta update my website. I gotta do press releases. I have to deal with distribution. I mean, it's just so much stuff to do. So, but you're not wrong, man. I've had people come in here and go, hey, try to use the, yeah, maybe wait till you're famous. Maybe before I'm famous. I don't know. That's what they say at Graham Cracker. They're like, are you going to forget about us when you get famous? And I was like, well, I got to get there first. Yeah, they're very much bought into me. It's nice. It's one of the shining beacons of what's going on right now for me. And so maybe what we could do is we could have these legs coming out. Remember how you influenced how these legs work?
The legs?
Yeah, the legs on the ship.
Oh yeah, because I was like, yeah, these need to be changed to be able to be made into a toy.
Yeah. It's interesting that I think that way, you know, like you kind of like, you don't want to be the guy who gets caught on that, but I'm like, fuck it. Let's do it. Are there any graphic novelists that are famous, really? I don't think they are. I guess they're kind of known, but they're known inside of the circle. I don't think there's really any real famous. I don't even think Todd McFarlane's famous. I mean, he kind of is, but barely. Like, I don't think my mom knows who Todd McFarlane is. Have a good night, guys. Take care, Soup. I hope you sleep well, buddy. Come visit the stream tomorrow. I'll be here. All these cats are just gonna end up looking like Charlie. I'm telling you, if I tried to have an artist do this for me, this book would be so expensive it could never get done. Because mostly because how many crowds I have, which is literally like a trope for a comic artist, where you have a person writing something, go, hey, we don't have a lot of money, but it's a labor of love, and we'll give you some money if we make money, and also the whole book is just giant crowds. You'd be like, get out of here, man. Which is basically all this is, really. Maybe this can stretch out a little bit. Let's drop the opacity on this. what's a good time for me to stream. It feels like 8 to 10 is not bad. I mean, we found Soup. And Soup was like finishing up his day, you know? And he was like, oh, I'll do this to hang out.
Yeah.
So it's not a bad time. And he's in the same time zone. So it's almost like, since I'm doing these longer streams until it's done, it might be good for me to get a nice little 4-hour spot. Like, because aren't we 4 hours ahead of California? Like, isn't it technically 8 o'clock, like 4 p.m. there? You should know. You're a
4
California.
p.m. I thought we were only 2 hours ahead.
Oh, that's it? 2 hours ahead? Oh, I thought it was more.
I don't know. I got a buddy in Oregon. I should ask him. Or I could Google it.
You could Google, yeah. Yeah, I could write my grandma a letter and ask her.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. I think that's how I'm going to learn new things now. Instead of just Googling it and figuring it out, I'm going to make sure that I ask somebody.
Yeah, sometimes the information's better.
To just slow that process down.
It's so bizarre how Google has like lost like the monopoly of answering questions.
I know, right?
Yeah. I was actually kind of seeing...
Like, you think...
What?
I was about to say, you think they'd be answering... Because it's like, you think they'd be answering questions for the rest of existence, like, 5 years ago.
Yeah, couldn't even imagine. And now they kind of dropped the ball, and they have some very serious competition. They're wild because...
And the Google AI, people do not like.
Yeah, Bard. Yeah, and that's probably the reason why it didn't come out. They probably were, like, trying it out, and they're like, this isn't consumer-friendly. We're just going to spend more time destroying other people's industries. Like, it was interesting, like, they have the... I don't know if you have this on YouTube, but they have games on YouTube now. I don't know if you're seeing those. Okay, so I was playing them, and I was like, okay, this game's okay. But you know what else I could see? I could see this game being, like, a $1 app. You know what I mean? And could you imagine, like, an independent person going, you know what? I really want to make a game. Let's just go for it. And it's just Google taking away that from someone else. I mean, these are not... They're not inventing new games. They're taking pretty rudimentary video game concepts, putting some character design behind it, and just literally destroying the app business for these independent people.
Which is crazy because that's what the Google store is the free market of like apps.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Google Play? No, I guess that's something
else. Yeah, the Google Play Store.
Oh, is that what it is? Yeah, but that
is what it is.
They basically offer... Basically, what Google does is it pretends like it's something more than what it is, which is 99% of the money they make is from search and ads. But they have all these other companies, and that's all they talk about. If you're a monopoly, what you do is you pretend that, one, you're very competitive. You're dealing with a very competitive market. And then you talk about everything except for your monopoly. It's a pretty fundamental playbook on how to run a monopoly. It's interesting that I would do research on this topic and not have a monopoly, but yeah. I'm very interested in like how power structures work and stuff like that. Like that's always been very fascinating to me.
It's a good thing to It's a good thing to understand because then you're understanding the systems of the powers that are controlling things.
Yeah, yeah, and they're pretty simple. They're not too complex. It's kind of interesting how the higher up stuff is very simple, but they also can make bad moves even if they're simple moves. You know, it's kind of weird how that works. Like, how do we humans organizing other humans? But then also there's an aspect. I will say the big part is that. When you think about those big ideas, I think the biggest misconception is that humans are really good at organizing humans. Like, for example, the economy. There's this concept that, like, the government can influence the economy, but it's such a small amount of what they can actually influence. I mean, they can influence things by tax incentives and, you know, obviously they can print more money and stuff like that. But ultimately, the damn thing just runs on its own. Like, even if we had a revolution and the government collapsed, like, we'd still have an economy. And I think a lot of people have trouble understanding that. That's why I think the pandemic was a really valuable time for some people, or really bad for some people. I have some people that were in my life that it didn't work out well for them. But you start to realize, like what are essential workers? Like, they're generally the people who get paid the least. You know, like what needs to happen? It's like you don't really have to do a lot for civilization to work. So when you're working, you know, down to the bone your whole life, and you think, well, this is just how life is. The pandemic probably showed you that, like, wait, maybe I don't have to live like this, you know? And that was really valuable for people. They could live their whole life without watching the world stop, but we all stopped at the same time. It was kind of like a collective trauma and a collective consciousness. This seems like something that Soup would like to hear about. I think Soup likes to talk about cerebral things.
Are we still on stream?
Yeah, I'm still streaming.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I'm 3 hours in.
Whoa.
Not bad, huh? I think I'm gonna make the regular streams 2 hours. And then I think, you know, what would be a good time to stream to hit everyone? So if I was trying to get everyone at their 7 o'clock, I would maybe want to start from 5 to 10 maybe, or 5 to 9.
Oh, I have no clue.
Okay, so
We're on brain off time.
is your brain starting to break down?
Oh yeah, I just decided to turn it off. I've been playing video games.
Good for you. Man, you know what kills my time is Civilization. I could probably switch this. You know what I could do? If I switch this to playing Civilization, and then I make the cover photo, me playing Civilization, my views will go up by an exponent of like 5.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I've done it before.
We could. Hey, I mean, I'm playing a video game right now. Have you seen the neurodivergent content?
Oh, where they have 2 things going at once?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen it. What about it?
I mean, I could just put whatever I'm doing on my video game as just more media to consume.
Well, you know what's crazy too? It's like, man, if I recorded everything I did, I think my following would slowly pick up. But I have enough stuff that I do in my life that I could basically record most of what I do. It's just such new territory for me.
What's that movie?
The Truman
with the
Show?
guy? The Truman Show, like just Truman Show your life.
Yeah, but it's voluntary. His was involuntary, but yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically. Ooh, what I could do is I could have this little scooter come in. Here it is. I drew this such a long time ago. That's why it's in paper form, this drawing. Some of these notes, they last the same way all the way. So here's the little ship that Spitz shows up in. So what we'll do is we'll maybe have him start here, and then we might have, so this is actually the interesting thing about my style, which is that I'm always trying to animate, which is like showing 3 panels that show a sequence that's animated. It's a consistent thing I do. It's actually not super common in graphic novel or in comic books. Mangas do it every once in a while, but it's not super common. American stuff is what it does is it anticipates, and then it gets to a splash page, which is there's one panel to signify this entire sequence of action that happens. And so it's like super dramatic, and it's got to be cool to look at, you know. Okay, so then we would have this.
Ooh, shit, I'm gonna die.
Well, that's drastic.
Oh, I mean, in the game I'm playing.
Oh, phew.
I didn't pick up any healing items, and in this game you can only heal when you pick up healing items. And, gosh, is it nasty when you don't have them.
What game are you playing?
Risk of Rain 2.
Oh, okay, yeah. I don't know about it, but I saw you labeled your away message as, like, this is what I'm doing.
Ooh. I have a potential at a really good run here if I don't die. So what's the following looking like on Twitch right now?
How many followers I have?
Or how many people are on?
Looks like there's just one. Is that you?
No, Twitch won't let me access my account.
Oh, you're still working on that? So I got...
Yeah, I've been in email chains with them for like months, and they're like, we've just resolved it, and the resolution is, damn, that sucks. Which is funny, because it's like, you know, I'm trying to use this service where people spend money. I'm like, hey, I'm trying to use this thing, this service you guys provide, where it's a platform of spending money.
Yeah.
Can I spend money on your platform? And they're like, no, fuck you. And I'm like, all right.
I remember one time, so yeah, it looks like there's always, I have a couple lurkers who never talk. So we got one lurker. Hello. And let's see what's
We love our lurkers here.
Yeah, lurkers are okay. They're cool. I mean, I lurk. That's generally how I do it. And then we got 2 on YouTube. And it looks like Soup that might be Soup though, but Soup might be off. I don't know.
And 2 of us YouTube cuties.
That's funny. And then yeah, he subscribed. How many do I got on here? I got 56 followers on Twitch, and then I got 43 on YouTube. Yeah, dude, I think the big fumble was me not putting on Mud is Good all of my contact information. That was a fumble. I was just happy to get it done.
Well, we live and we learn.
Yeah. I was just happy to get it done, you know. So actually this ship would be more like this. So we got to get this from a different perspective. He's got a little silly propeller on it. What a silly little ship. Or maybe, okay, so this is, here's like a filmmaking tip to myself. Maybe
what's the tip?
Well, I think what I'm thinking is I'll land the ship, and then once the ship lands, then Spitz will come in. Because if you do 2 things at the same time, I mean, the way they make movies and stuff, you're really not supposed to do that. It's supposed to be pretty obvious where you're supposed to look. You can do some subtle things with slower paced stories, but mine's definitely not. My story is very bam, 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 bam. So I'm thinking it lands, and then once it lands, then Spitz comes. Now I'd like them to happen at the same time in my mind, but it's really important that I don't confuse my audience.
I think that's a good move to avoid confusing people.
Yeah, because people will never think that they're the problem. They're like, this fucking thing sucks. Yeah, I was confused and it sucks. Do you think maybe it's just maybe a little too intelligent for you? No, never thought that. Not that that's what it would be. I mean, that's not really the case. This is a tougher scene too, and we're just plowing right through it. I'm just so ready to get this damn project out.
Give the public what they've been waiting for.
I think they forgot about it. It'd be interesting to see if I know that at Graham Cracker it's going to sell well. I think in the city it'll do fine. But I don't really have... I'm sure I'll sell a bunch on Instagram, but I've been really disappointed with how much exposure Zuckerberg's been helping me out with. Like, not very much. I mean, they're my
Zuck Daddy himself.
yeah. I mean, they're my followers. Like, why do I have to pay to access my followers? That's kind of bogus.
Yeah, it seems nuts to me.
Yeah, and he's just nothing you can do about it. I mean, he runs it.
I mean, it really feels like TikTok is where it's at, which sucks because I don't like the platform. But
Yeah. Yeah, TikTok came out with the song of the year. That song that I did with Charlie. I'll actually play it through the speaker. So this song blew up on TikTok, and it's just an independent guy. Oh, here we go. Oh, it's right here. Have you heard this song, $1 Million Baby?
yeah.
Okay, so that was a TikTok song, not an actual like.
Oh, really?
It was just it was some dude in Virginia who posted up his song to be in the part of the library of what songs people could attach to their videos, and people just started picking it, and it turned into the song. That was basically the song of the summer, I would say.
Huh.
Yeah, and TikTok
Cool.
did that. You know what I mean? I think even if Instagram tried to force a song, it wouldn't even take. Instagram's different. Instagram's turning into like a personal. It's like has more to do with your body than anything. Instagram is like your public profile with your body. It's kind of wild.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like the fact that I use art for Instagram is not. There's probably a better platform I should be focusing on. Maybe it's Patreon, you know?
Maybe. I don't know. I mostly only follow art pages, like art and comic pages.
Okay.
Which is funny because it's not the type of content that I get to see, unfortunately.
Oh yeah, dude, I see girls' butts a lot.
Well, mostly it gives me like fishing videos or like lathe videos, like woodworking videos and
That's
stuff
pretty
like
cool.
that.
Yeah.
But it's like that's not why I'm here, because that's work to me, you know.
Yeah.
But I end up watching it because I like it,
Yeah.
and it knows that I like it, so it keeps showing it to me. But I'm using the platform to look at art, which is what I want to be looking at, to take a break from all the work that I do.
Right.
So it's this interesting dichotomy of getting what I like versus getting what I want to like.
You know, it was really valuable when I started going to college. I only followed 3D modelers, 3D texture, or just artists in general that it was like were such high caliber. And I was like, I think my page actually follows some of the best artists in the world. And I was hip to Beeple before he blew up, and it was all through Instagram and stuff. And it's like all these really top-notch artists, and really affected my work. It really made me make my work jump, because I was just every day I was looking at world-class artists and what they were dropping, and it really made me step my game up. And so when I was in art school, a lot of the people around me, it was kind of crazy that I was developing at a pace where they were looking at their classmates and paying attention to the curriculum to develop, and I was just there. I just happened to be there, and I was developing, looking at my Instagram and social media, and so I was jumping at leaps and bounds. It just made it seem like, I had something that they didn't have, and it was not really the case. It was just the exposure to better work. I mean, if so yeah, I like it. And now I'm trying to do just Blender. You know how I'm always thinking about Blender, but
You're always talking about Blender, and I don't see you putting the work in for it.
you don't see me doing it, no. No, but I'm talking about it. But I do do some stuff, whatever. But yeah, I would love to, hop into Blender and build this ship, and so I didn't have to draw it every single time. And I'd love to hop into Blender and turn, let's say
you have the CAD model that I gave you.
Oh, that's true.
You could use that. That's a model that exists in that Blender space. You could put it in perspective. I don't know, food for thought.
It's not a bad idea.
Because all you need is something to rough it out, right?
Right, yeah, it's so the perspective.
You're not having Blender redraw it for you. You're just trying to rough it out in space.
Right.
Increase and decrease your focal length.
Yeah, I want the perspective to be correct, and I don't want to spend a bunch of time working it because perspective isn't something that comes super easy to me. I mean, I keep working this explosion here, you know, because I know that the vanishing lines are going away, and I kind of did a 2D thing when I first started laying this down. So that's the kind of stuff that kind of bums me out a little bit. Like, I still kind of, a lot of my drawings come off really flat. And I can do great organic stuff. I'm an organic kind of drawing person. I'm not, I guess I always just thought that this stuff would come to me. But yeah, you're right. I'm not putting in the work. You're right. You true.
I'll call you out. Don't worry.
It's all right. I don't mind.
Or I guess do worry. I will call you out.
Nah, that doesn't bother me at all. I got nothing to hide, man. I got no fake life to represent or anything. I am what I am. Which kind of makes me, I feel like you're the same way.
Yeah, I try to be pretty transparent about how I operate.
God, I kind of hate looking at myself. Okay.
Looking at yourself?
Yeah. All right.
I don't think you should.
Thanks, man. It's very sweet. Where are we at here? We're at 11. It's about midnight. I could probably go for another 2 hours, but I don't want to drag ass tomorrow. So I think I'm going to put a period on this. Where are we at here? We're at 3 hours and 26 minutes. Why don't we push it to 3.5? So I'll stay on for another 5 minutes. Yeah, dude, I'm pretty excited about promoting this material. Like, I'm totally fine with dropping YouTube videos about myself and showing Charlie and, you know, like getting a bunch of footage of Charlie being a maniac and then cutting into it, making it seem like Charlie's actually slowing me down. You know, like that'd be kind of funny.
I have a friend who started a really small YouTube channel that I think's, you know, doing pretty alright.
Yeah.
I should send you a link to it.
Yeah, please do.
Her name's Maria Shishwal. I don't know what her Instagram handle is, but she's pretty public now.
Cool.
But it's a really good, like, you know, day in the life of an artist, like, type content.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are going to wonder how to make their own graphic novel. And, you know, without giving too much, you don't want to give too much away because, you know, there's a lot of information I did earn myself. And you're going to have to do it. But I can really help you get kickstarted and get going and get out of your own way, which I think is really the most valuable information. I think that's why on YouTube you see a lot of people teaching things to beginners because I think that's the largest market.
Yeah.
Which kind of sucks because if you keep developing and everything you're looking at is for a beginner, you just would be doing yourself a disservice.
Yeah, it makes it hard to get past that beginner stage.
Yeah, it's like if, say, for example, Brian was like, how to be a leader. I don't remember who was the one who had the joke. It might have been you and me that the only thing was on his monitor was liquidate company. And that was the only thing that was like on his monitor.
But it's like written,
yeah.
Like a pen and paper.
Yeah, and then he put a post-it note on his monitor. Liquidate company. You know, the fact that they thought that it was like disrespectful for us to even look at their computer should have been a red flag.
Oh, I did it all the time.
Like Comptroller V, she'd be like,
well, but
stand
they're
over there.
network computers.
Oh, so you could look anyway?
Yeah.
Oh, I never did that.
I mean, I didn't go like into their personal documents and shit, but I was like, you know, if I needed something on their computer, I'd be like, I'm just gonna go get it.
guess that kind of pulls in together. It's kind of redundant to the last one. Whew, using a lot of animation tricks. I think if I drop a Terrence Howard satire, I think that'll get more attention than anything else.
I don't know who that is.
He's a famous actor who claims on the Joe Rogan podcast and other platform. He was actually at Oxford too. He says that 1 × 1 is 3. No, 1 × 1 is 2. And he claims to have invented a new math. And he's just like, doesn't know what the hell he's talking about. He's just wild stuff. And so I want to make a video making fun of him. I recommend looking into it because it is going to be my next project. I'll end up showing it to you at some point.
Ah, sweet. Then I don't have to look into it.
Yeah, well, yeah, I'll force it upon you. So yeah, this perspective is tough. It's like this. So would it be more like this? Yeah. So then we'll go with this one. Where are we at here? Delete canvas. Let's get rid of this. Let's keep these together. Merge. And let's put these on the big document. Where are we at here? This is 10? Okay. When I wake up in the morning, I'm going to go straight into this chapter and this stuff. I don't mind doing writing in the morning. My brain's in a pretty good spot. This came out pretty good. Look at that. Wow. These look pretty good after a while. This whole concept of drawing on a larger canvas and then shrinking it really is the bee's knees. Where are we at here? Man, Soup was pretty cool, huh? Guy came in here.
Yeah, I liked him.
I liked him too. Honestly, a lot of the people who come and check out, like even some of the people who comment on my Instagram and stuff, most of the time they're pretty interesting people. I think my demographic hits the intellectuals.
Don't die.
Yeah, dude, we should take your feed and put it halfway while I draw on the other feed.
Yeah, you think we get somewhere with that?
Oh, for sure. I mean,
It
logistic.
is chaotic right now.
What, your game?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it would work. I think people like that. I mean, dude, I'll literally pull out my phone and watch YouTube as Fortnite loads. I have no patience anymore.
Yeah, I know. I've seen a lot of like reels and like TikTok videos that like they're like telling a story, but they're also having like Subway Surfer like playing on half the screen.
Yeah, that's funny. Okay, so let's delete this. What do we get?
And I feel like, you know, co-streaming that might be like
on the same
I don't know,
wavelength.
that might be an avenue.
All right, let's delete this. Don't save. What about this one? This one's good. Can we put all this in?
Oh my
right?
gosh, that was a fucking nightmare fight.
So it's the process of docking. Okay. So I think, so today, this morning, when you and I were working, we was working on the Cat Federation meeting, doing some of the heavy lifting on that, some of the more boring stuff that you don't want to show on the stream. And I think tomorrow morning, I'll do the same thing, but it'll be the details of the docking. And I don't know, where are we at here? We're getting there. Tomorrow, I gotta reach out to Kindle, because we're not publishing the book tomorrow. Well, in 15 minutes, rather.
Kindle, like the book company, like Amazon?
Yeah, well, yeah, Kindle is the company that publishes the books. Yeah. Kindle Direct Publishing is the actual publisher that I go through. They're owned by Amazon, but it used to be Amazon CreateSpace, but they got hit with an antitrust issue, and so they just kept it. They still own it, but they just didn't want them to have it in name for whatever reason.
Yeah.
So then I think that would be good. And then if I can get into this Science is Bad chapter, that chapter really needs some work on it. So this would be the one I would attack tomorrow. So I think the docking, and then the Science is Bad. And then I think at that point, if maybe I could get into the maneuver, and then I think it would be time to make one book out of all this for the next print. So I'm going to combine Mud is Good to this book and just do one 400-page book to help me edit it. And then I'll know how I'm going to split it. So I think the next edition that comes out will be so close to whatever goes out. It'll be good for me, but then I'm going to hand it off to a couple of people that I respect and say, hey, you know, does any of this seem confusing to you?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'll go down that way. And then once that's combed through, then we'll be ready to start selling it. But I think once that 400 page is done with the covers, I think it'll be time to start marketing it to potential buyers. You'll say, hey, this is the book I got. This is what it's about. It ships on this date. You want some? Put your orders in now. And then once I have an excess of them, then I'll start making social media posts and emails to my email thread and, you know, try to post it everywhere and see what we can do. And then what I'm going to do is simultaneously, while I'm, you know, hustling and doing stuff for different contractors and stuff like that, I'll also do short reel animations, because those are the things that do the best on social media. So I'll do short animated, short funny stuff with Conformity Farm on it, and then once they comb through that, they'll see that there's these graphic novels that I've made, and so, you know, it's better than selling merch, I think, as the book is. We're close, bro. We're almost there. Chapter 8's done. Chapter 7 needs to be put together, but that's done. Chapter 1 needs a lot of work. So I have to dive into that one too. Chapter 1. All right, so thank you for hanging out, y'all. I would like to say, if you enjoyed the stream, please follow me on Twitch or YouTube. Subscribe on YouTube. If you've already subscribed, just hit me with a comment or a like. Tell me what you like about the stream. Maybe tell me what you don't like. I'm very open to criticism. I have quite a tin plate covering my heart, so you're not going to hurt my feelings, I promise. Also, you can support me on Patreon if you want, but you're not going to really get anything, so it may not be exciting for you yet. Follow me on Instagram, YouTube. Actually, I'm Conformity Farm everywhere, either one word or 2 words. Yeah, and I'll be around tomorrow morning. Or excuse me, I'll be around tomorrow evening. I'll probably be around in the morning. I may not launch a stream though. So, all right, y'all. Thanks for hanging out. If you made it this far, you are an American hero. And I want you to be good.